Hey everyone, welcome to Chainout, your favorite disc golf podcast covering everything in Edmonton, Alberta, and Canada. If it's disc golf related, we got it here for you. I'm Jeremy, and with me as always is your favorite co-host, Daryl.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome along to episode 15.
Episode 15, episode Canes, episode 15. I think that's about it. I tried to cover the main languages that we're going to maybe have listeners in.
I don't know. Good enough for me. Yeah. I'm trying to learn Spanish and I can't think what it is in Spanish. Is it quince?
Quince.
Okay, well, you know more Spanish than I do, so.
That's right.
It's okay. Good. How are you doing, Jeremy?
I am doing awesome, Daryl.
Good to hear. Ready for another bumper packed episode?
Yeah. We were just kind of doing a little review, and man, is this episode jam-packed.
It's going to be good. It's so jam-packed. It was kicked out of Jamville for being too jammy is what it was.
Really? Did they kick them out with their jammies, or did they have to leave their jammies behind?
See, I take it to a level, Jeremy, and you just always take it that one step further. I like that about you.
I'm always going to push it just a little too far.
Same as Mark. You can't let me have one. You always if I make a long putt, you make a longer putt. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it always works that way, but all right.
Anyway, how have you been?
I've been well. I've been real well. Had a great week. I almost got to play around with you.
We did. Almost. We went out. We met up. We went up purposely to play around together. We met up. We had pre-round banter. And then
it didn't
the
happen.
Fickle finger of fate.
Or the fickle finger of
the
flipping.
Discs. Yeah. I know we tried to meet up for Winter League. I had a free weekend, which is very rare for me. But I tried to meet up with you and Mark to go for Winter League. And I mean, probably a good thing that quite a few people showed up. I think 17 people was there in the end. I think is what the final count was.
Yeah, it was such a wonderful day, and it was a great turnout. There was at least 3 people, including you, who they're not part of league, but came out and joined us, which was great to have the extra bodies there.
Yeah, I finally got to meet Brock in person, so shout out to Brock. I met up with Eric, who you brought over from the putting league.
From the throwing clinics on the Friday nights.
Throwing clinics, yeah. And then when it came to pick teams, you hinted at trying maybe to pick teams instead of flipping discs, but everybody said why break with tradition, so flipping the discs, and it wasn't even close. It was the first flip. We were separated already. Yeah. It was good. It was the whole point of when you go to these leagues, right? You don't just want to go and play with your buddies. I mean, it's always good to play with your friends and things like that, but when we can do that anytime, even though we haven't yet, but we could. So being part of these leagues, and it's another good reason to sign up for winter leagues or even the summer leagues or putting leagues or anything like that, is just to get out there, get out of your comfort zone, meet some new people. You've got a common interest already in disc golf. So yeah, it was good fun. I had fun. I got on my card, who I ended up with was Brendan Kudrowicz, who Brendan from BR had mentioned before. So it was good to play around with him.
That was funny with that when you mentioned that, because I've seen Brendan there every week, and I didn't tie 2 and 2 together and realize that that's the same Brendan on the BR ambassador team. So that was cool. You're the one who figured that out. Thank you for that, my friend.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't take much figuring out when I looked at the scorecard and I seen that was his last day. But I didn't notice it at first, and we had a good chat about the podcast because he listens to the podcast, or he caught up with the podcast anyway. So that was good. I also got to play with Jody, who we've mentioned before on the podcast that she likes getting out on the Winter League as well. So it was a good time playing with Jody. And I also got paired up with Eric.
Right.
So, it was a good, fun card.
Yeah, no, it's great. And it just, I'm glad you had that opportunity to come out and play with us, just to see that, maybe in another year, if the weather was super cold the whole time, like I believe it was that way last year, it might not have been quite as fun. But
Right.
with the way things have been this year, it was fantastic. I don't need to dwell on the weather, but just the matter of you came out, it was a great day to come out and just to see that fun that we have, whether it's a summer league or a winter league, we're still having the same type of fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. The score wasn't that great, but
Wow. First big round out at Rundle. Wow, no, not
there you
first
go.
one for you. You've played some other rounds, but first one lately.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. That's
Yeah.
all we'll say about
All
that.
all that practice at Augusta, I mean the hills sometimes doesn't always get you as prepared as you want to be. But
Exactly. Yeah,
hey, I want to play a game with you. Do you want to play I Spy?
I'll play a game with you. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So play I Spy. See if you can see anything different about my arrangement here.
Oh, okay. Um, well, I can see that you've got your honor. I can see your astronaut. Oh, let's have a look. I spy with my little eyes something beginning with G.
Yes, with GOAT.
T.
The goat towel.
That is awesome. We mentioned that in the last podcast that I went with the Thomas Gilbert goat towel. Other players were available to sponsor. And tell me a bit about it. Whose towel is that for people that are listening?
So Goat made 3 towels this year. They made Thomas Gilbert's. They made one for Chantal Badinsky, the Ms. Frisbees, and that's the one I got. And it's kind of got a bit of a rainbow color theme, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
got a big lion in the middle, and it's so bright, and it's kind of maybe a little bit like my personality. So I
Yeah.
figured you got the Northern Lights, I've got Chantal. Now we just need someone else, maybe a listener, to get the C Monty one, and we'll
Yeah.
have the trifecta.
I did correct myself and I put it in the graphics on the last episode. I apologize. It's Colton Montgomery.
Right.
Yeah, Colton Montgomery. Almost got his name wrong again.
Colin? Colin.
Colton Montgomery is the third player sponsor towel. You can get other towels as well if you like, but if you're going to buy one, if you're going to buy one from Goat Towels, you may as well support Canadian disc golfers as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned how nice they are, and you weren't just filling air or something like that. You were right.
Yeah.
It's a nice towel. Can't wait to get it out there next week. So
Yeah, no, I've had a chance to use it, and other towels that I've used or other cleaning products, they tend to, especially in the snow or even in the mud and the wet, they tend to just move the mud and the water around to the other side of the disc. So as you keep spinning the disc, you're just continually chasing the mud and the water and the snow and the ice around your disc. But the black side slightly pimpled, a little bit rough to get the most of the debris off, and then as much as I don't like to do it, but the nice colorful side, couple wipes with that, and it's a completely dry disc. I really like it. There's a reason why it's the greatest of all towels.
yes, exactly. Well, so I have that. You've got that one. Towels, check. Another thing I wanted to talk about here, Daryl, is I want to
Mm-hmm.
do a quick shout out to some of our local university college
Yes.
disc golfers. And what we had was another BR ambassador team member in Zoe Lorenz Bozer,
Yep.
as well as Jacob Neufeld, who plays in the Winter League. You probably remember when we mentioned him in one of our episodes, he had gotten the only ace of the league so far.
Right. Yeah.
So the two of them, along with a couple people I'm not familiar with, which was Lucas Sigler and Scott Guibert, they went down to Raptors Knoll in Vancouver, and it was the TWU, which is like Trinity Western University, put on a regional qualifier, and that was for college disc golf nationals, I think is what it's called. So it's a big college disc golf tournament down there. So the 4 of them went down and participated over 2 days, and awesome to have that happening in Canada, and that we're actually going to be part of it, or hopefully be part of the US competition.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to hear. Like we've spoke to Tim before about, what are they doing to promote disc golf and all that? Are they getting in schools and all that? So it's good to see that it's at that university level and that people are, supportive enough to actually get a university team to go and compete.
Yeah. And you know what it makes me think too, Daryl, is that we really got to try and get maybe Zoe or Jacob on the show at some point, because college disc golf rules,
Yeah.
it's a team sport. There is an individual component, but there's a team sport, and there's so much that's different than the way we would normally play disc golf. So
Okay.
rather than cover it now in our intro, we should get one of them on and discuss it some more.
Yeah, I mean, why would we try and butcher it when we can just get the experts on to explain it a lot better?
Yeah, just let me butcher the names. That's the only part I want to butcher.
What else have you got going on? What else do we...
I don't know. I think was it about a couple episodes ago? You had told us a story about your Alden Harris disc. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
I can definitely shout that out. So, like you said, a couple episodes ago, I talked about that if you don't enter a contest, you're not going to win. I entered my contest for Alden Harris, and I ended up winning one of his 100 discs that he was giving away. He moved from Podigy to Discmania. Guess what, Jeremy?
What?
Now our listeners and viewers have a chance to enter their own competition because, drum roll please, we're announcing our first ever Chainout podcast competition.
Woo, 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 woo.
It just sounds like we're a bunch of trains. Okay,
that's right.
We're calling this our 100 subscriber. What do we call it?
I think we're calling it our 100 subscriber contest, right?
Yeah, we're calling it our 100 subscriber contest. So we want to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We've been, it's like we're going up a roller coaster. Every clack we're going up, we're getting closer and closer. We're getting one follower here, we're getting one follower there, but we want to get to 100. So we are going to do a draw for an amazing prize pack giveaway. Jeremy, would you do the honors of being my Vanna White, please?
Of course.
So while you show it off to the viewers, I will tell the listeners what they can win. So we're going to start off with a very nice Hand-Eye Supply Zizou Edition Baby Blue Bindle Bag.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot bigger than it looks in the photos. It's awesome. It can hold about 12 or 14 discs, so that's awesome. But that's not all. That's not the only thing we're giving away in this prize, Jeremy. No, let's see what's in the bag.
What's in the bag? Let's take a look.
We have some BR Disc stickers. So thank you to BR Disc for donating some stickers to our giveaway. We have the 2023 BR Ambassador Disc Golf Team. Top left, there you can see the aforementioned Zoe Lorenz-Bozer. In the middle, sporting a rather nice beard, is Dan Dupree's. And friend of the show, Kristen Swirls.
That's right. And not only that, we have a little dog there named Duke.
Perfect. We all like a dog. Who doesn't like a dog? But that's not all. Other ambassadors of the team, you're going to have to say it because I can't see the one in the bottom right-hand corner. Right.
So on the left there with the 3 discs, we got Brendan Kudrowicz. In the middle there, Nolan Litvak. And then on the right, Jonas Stolpot, otherwise Pots and Pans, if you're looking for him on Instagram.
There you go.
And then
a Burger King BR Disc Golf stamp.
Yep.
A standard BR Disc Golf logo.
And
it looks to me like a military style BR Disc Golf sticker as well.
You betcha.
Is that all the stickers we have?
Oh,
like no, it's not. We have, and I think this might even be the star prize, but that's just me. We also have a collector's edition, first run ever, Chainout podcast sticker. Oh, yes, that's right. We rolled up the barrel. We have lovely blue stickers that we printed out.
Blue?
First run. Blue, purple.
Colors may vary.
Your colors may vary. Depending on what light you're looking at it.
Edition part, hey, is the purple part.
There you go. Well, that sounds like a lot, Jeremy.
Well, that's not all, though.
That is not all. It keeps getting better and better. We have a red BR Disc Golf Mini with a blue stamp. So never again will you be called on a foot fault. Mark your disc with a lovely blue stamp, pink
You really
BR
do
Mini.
sound like a game show host here, my friend.
I'm trying to build up the Vanna White connection. Wow, that is such an amazing giveaway. Oh, wait, that's not it.
But wait, there's
more. And to top it all off, we have a BR stamp Blue Burst West Side Harp.
Yeah.
That looks sweet. That looks sharp. I do like that, Jeremy. I wish, when we were looking at that and we were picking it out, I think I picked it out because I like it. I don't have a harp. It's an amazing, I hear it's an amazing disc. It looks stunning. So what a prize pack that is. After having Brendan on the show there, we wanted to show support to BR Disc. So thanks to Brendan there, we purchased some stuff and he donated some things as well for our 100 subscriber contest.
Well, and Daryl, to keep the game show type theme going on here,
carry on.
You may be asking, how do I get a chance to win these wonderful prizes? Well, wonder no more, because we're going to tell you. So we're going to put a post on Instagram with a picture of the prizes. And we're going to ask you to like the post and tag a friend, kind of common thing that a lot of people will ask you to do. And then we would like you to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. Once we get to 100 YouTube subscribers, we're going to take all the followers, all the subscribers. We're going to do a draw from there, and it'll be a random draw. And we'll do either on an episode or do a little video and put that out there for you. But that's how we're going to give it away. So watch for that post. And if there's any other details, we'll add them in there.
Yeah. So the key thing is when we get to 100 subscribers. So when you tag your friend in the Instagram post, make sure they go over and follow us on or subscribe to us on YouTube as well, because that's the key number.
That's right. So hopefully you guys like the prize pack. We are working on our budget. One day we'll hopefully be a super big budget, but we're pretty happy with what we put together, and we hope you are too.
Just imagine what we're going to be giving away for 200 or 300 or 500 or 1,000 subscribers. Can you ever imagine a day when we have 1,000 subscribers, Jeremy?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine us in a situation like we are today where we did 15 episodes.
I can't imagine us having 50 subscribers, let alone 67.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no, well, I think that's just us giving it back to the listeners, right?
Well, that's it.
Value their support.
We've gotten so much support from all of you guys right now, and we appreciate it. And we just wanted in our little way to find a way to give back to you. And also, as we said with BR there and such, just show that we are trying to support and walk the walk, right?
Mm-hmm, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we should get to it. That's enough of I think you said last time, enough of the faff.
Yeah, you don't have that.
I always love your English words.
I did think about it after I said it, but you didn't mention it, so I figured you might have had that word over here. But you don't say faff?
No, I don't.
Stop.
I knew what you meant. I just don't say it, but I'm saying it now. That's enough of the faff, Daryl. Let's get on with it.
Stop faffing about.
There you go. All right, I'm going to get to our intro here. You're not going to have to tell me. Deep Dark Voice is coming out. Okay. Here we go. Our guest today is an Alberta FPO player. She is a personal coach with Fit Theorem. She is the captain of BR's 2024 ambassador team. She is one of the most positive and energetic people you will meet. She likes to go by the title Heiser Bomb. Hang on, Daryl.
What?
I got to stop the intro, man.
Why? I thought you were doing a good job.
Well, when you have a great guest on like we do today,
right?
I don't think the standard intro is going to work. I think we need more.
More? How can how can we go bigger than that?
I think we need a song, buddy.
A song? It better be a solo song.
Yeah, no, I was going to put you on the spot right away.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking more of a song. Yeah, are you ready for this? I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm working on this buckled
all week. All week I've been working on this.
Okay.
All right. So this is a song inspired by the great Tom Jones. Here we go. Heiser bomb, hong. Not only can she throw it straight, but she can throw it long. Heiser bomb, hong. It's time to bring her on the show. So Daryl, if you're ready, let's go. So what do you think?
That's awesome. That's one of the best intros yet. I don't know how you're going to keep topping it, but the listeners demand that you top it each week. So you're setting the bar high.
Don't speak for the listeners. They may have said, don't ever do that again, Jeremy.
Exactly.
Well, let's get her on the show.
Welcome, Teri. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks for having me, guys. Yay, I'm doing really, really good. Really busy, but hey, that's just my life.
It's good to be busy, right? Did you have a short week? Is it a short week for you, or did you work the Monday?
I worked. I let my staff down off and I worked.
Do you work this weekend?
No, I took it off Tundra Toss.
Good, yeah. We'll talk about that later on. We're all excited for Tundra Toss, right, Jeremy?
Oh, we are pumped. But you know what? Is there any time that you're not really working, Teri? If you're working there, and then I see you last night at Putting League, it seems like you're always got something going on.
Nonstop. So Windermere, Shore Park, and then Putting League. So I'm driving all over the place.
You work at both locations?
Yes, I'm managing
awesome.
Studios.
Wow, you're managing both. Cool. And then do you end up with trips down to Camrose too and stuff as well, or what?
He ships stuff to me now every week, actually. I think every week or every 2 weeks, he ships stuff to me.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Yeah, we were lucky enough to get some stuff shipped up and picked up from. You picked it up at Putting League last night.
Yes. Jeremy gave it to you? Good. Okay, I was scared he was going to steal it.
Well, I still actually have it. I think I was going to give his discs that he got maybe a little test run just to make sure that they're right for Daryl. I don't want him to have something that's not going to work for him. So.
What a good friend.
Brendan's trying to convince me that the Ringer GT is better than the Berg, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And then there's been a bunch of videos too, Teri, on Instagram from another round that has been slamming the Berg, and Daryl's getting tagged in every single one of them, it feels like.
Berg.
So much hate for the Berg out there. It's only a disc.
Yeah.
It's a thick disc. It's a very thick disc.
Oh, definitely. Well, Teri, when we start our episodes, we like to we want to find out about how you got into disc golf, but it's pretty boring if we just ask you that question. So I've tried to make it and spice it up a little bit. So I've been doing these disc golf origin stories, but here's the thing. They're modeled after superheroes and superheroines and that, and I did some of the more common ones, and I just normally hang them out there. But this one's a little more obscure. But I feel, to me, what I'm going to do, we were talking about a contest earlier, so I'm going to say out to the listeners is that if you can guess which superhero this is, put a comment put it in the comments, your guess, and then if you get it right, we're going to give you an extra contest entry. But here we go. This is what it is. Maybe when you were younger, you were an aspiring singer, and one day at a junior high school dance, you decided to sing, and as you sang, you realized you had the ability to turn sound into an amazing light show. You were able to shine brighter and have more energy than anyone you knew. You chose to channel that energy into disc golf, and you've been dazzling the disc golf scene ever since. Now, that may not be your origin story, but why don't you tell us how you got into disc golf?
That's funny because when I was little, growing up, my sister always told me I was tone deaf. Screaming Michelle Branch songs in the living room at the top of my lungs, laying on the piano bench. But turns out I'm not tone deaf, guys. Yay!
Jeremy is.
Hear that singing professionally. Like, I know you have perfect pitch. So like, oh, cool. But my origin story. Okay, COVID. Like a lot of disc golfers, during COVID, you weren't allowed to hang out with friends. A lot of businesses were shut down. You couldn't even go to escape rooms. So we resorted to disc golf. I was like, okay, well, I know some people that play this game. Let's just try it out, see what happens. Let's go throw some plastic around the field. What really got me addicted was my very first tournament in Strathmore run by JK Discs.
Okay.
I entered into intermediate, and I just let the girls know I have no idea what I'm doing. So if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. They didn't even know how to check the scores. But me, being me, silly, stupid, fun, final round, I decided to turbo putt the last hole in front of the tournament central. And I said, this is for all my fans. And I got down on one knee and I turbo putted in. Cheering. I was like, wow, I didn't know people would go so nuts for turbo putts. Turns out I won.
Wow.
You won. Wow. So you thought it was all about the turbo putt.
I think I beat out a girl that was playing for years. Who it is. But yeah, she's in Alberta. So then I decided, hey, let's just move up to advance and see what happens for my next tournament. It was in Lethbridge with Rebecca Johnson, right? from Noah's mom.
Yeah,
And I went to advanced because everyone told me the rule is when you win your division, you have to move up. Mandatory.
Fair.
Okay.
I'm pretty competitive in that way too. So I was like, okay, I'll move up. Then I competed against the girl that was also playing for a really long time. Her husband is actually very huge into disc golf. I ended up winning that tournament too.
What?
I was like, wow, this is so much fun. Right? It's very windy there. And thanks to my buddies up in Saskatoon, Lowell and Tyler Butts, they were able to teach me how to spin putt properly.
Okay.
Yeah, so no lofty putts in the wind of Lethbridge, right? Obviously.
Right.
But I think the most addicting part was me and my friends, we decided to go to Jackfish, North Battleford. Massive course, lots of elevation, crazy trees. You get stuck in the trees, you're pitching out if you're lucky, right?
Yep.
I was wearing this massive green fanny pack. I should probably find the footage for you. I was wearing this massive green Nike fanny pack. I was like, I'm so cool. I can fit 7 in here and throw while I wear my fanny pack. I actually hit the cage on one of the holes.
No.
On your drive?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And back then I didn't know any technique. I was literally the tee pad's this way. I will face the other way and go, pew! Hope for the very best. I hit the cage, and actually Joe Mez shared that footage, and it was
Wow.
there. The guy who owned the course, Zimmerman, he was super happy that his course was featured on Joe Mez. So that really helped get my name out there. Everybody's like, have you seen Terry Hong's video? Have you seen this chick? She's going so far. She's always out on the disc golf course.
She's got a green fanny bag.
Yeah, green, lime green.
You can't miss her. Yeah.
Saskatoon's pretty small, so it's really easy for me to sneak away and play around. And before going back to work, it's literally like 10 minutes to get across the city. I was on the disc golf course probably 6 to 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Okay.
My go-to was three rounds a day. Everybody would recognize me out there. If it wasn't for my long hair, I don't have it down right now, but usually my hair is down to my butt. It's just waving in the wind. I didn't know how to tie my hair up back then because I thought I was cool. But yes, they would either recognize me because my hair's flowing in the wind, or as Darian Kidd from Saskatoon says to Riley, my boyfriend, he goes, I always know when your girlfriend's on the course because there's just legs. I just see legs. Oh, thanks. You don't see the flowy hair like longer than my legs? Okay. Yeah, it's just the community, people noticing me, people cheering me on, just sharing my stuff, pumping me up, telling me to keep going. Huge.
Wow. So you entered your first tournament against players that have played it for years, and on the 18th green, not only did you win it and the crowd went wild, you rubbed salt in the wound by turbo putting it in front of the girl as well.
This is from my fans.
That's awesome. Oh. And you didn't even notice it, or I didn't notice it, Jeremy, but when you're giving her a superhero story, Terry's actually sitting behind a sticker on the wall that says, I am my own superhero.
Oh,
how fitting is that, right?
That's fantastic.
Perfect. This is our mural at work. This tells the story of everybody's journey of finding themselves and being a better version of themselves.
Right.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
So when you were talking there, Terry, you said Saskatoon is where it all started, but you're not in Saskatoon anymore. How did that happen?
I moved here for this job.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
So back in Saskatoon, I was working a similar job. It was a gym called I Love Kickboxing. They only did kickboxing, though, nothing else really. And my growth was capped. There was nowhere else for me to go. And if you've ever met me, I'm ambitious. I love taking on absolutely everything. Let me do everything, right? So when I feel like that's a max for me, I want to definitely keep finding something else that will help me grow. So Fit Theorem found me. Not only do they do kickboxing, they also have kettlebells for strength building, flow for mobility work, but we also do a lot of life coaching, mindset coaching, and nutrition coaching too.
Gotcha.
Awesome. The full package, it sounds like.
Sky's the limit here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Terry, we looked to, and when you signed up in 2020, we talked about that. You started in the AMs, you went straight to the pros. We kind of got a feel for that. You're now sitting with like an impressive 853 rating, which Daryl and I are hoping one day to catch up to. I just was so happy I got to 800 at the end of last season. So do you have any goals of where you want your rating to be or what you're thinking you're going to do this year?
My goal last year was to hit 850. So I'm happy. If you can see the record, every month it either stayed the same or it went up by 1 point. Yeah, I want to be able to hit 900. I don't know if I can do that this year. Work is really busy, but I am doing better at finding work-life balance.
Right. Always a struggle.
I need to find the work-life balance, because if I don't, my disc golf game struggles. I used to be the strongest putter out of me and all my friends, but now they're catching up. I'm not playing as much. I'm not putting as much. So yeah, it's time to either do something about it or cry about it.
do you find
the do something, Daryl? You can do the crying if you want, but I'm going to do the do something part.
Yeah, exactly. Do you find that if you don't get out there and practice your putting, like how long between practice putting sort of sessions, like how soon do you notice a difference?
Right away.
Really? Yeah.
When I first moved to Edmonton, this is the fun part. I have a bunch of witnesses that can attest to this. When I first moved to Edmonton, this was when I was playing 3 rounds a day in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
I joined a group, Gabe Piska's group. Tristan was actually on the show. His brother. Yeah. They introduced us to their own little. They made their own little league. They called themselves the Disc Dummies. They welcomed me and Riley into their league. They had their own little tags. We played. We'd go out to like Eagles Landing, anywhere together as a group to play. I was smashing putts like anywhere between 90, 80, 70 feet. They were going in.
Whoa.
Going in. All these guys are like, who is this chick? Where did she come from? Why is she here? So I wanted to be able to get back to there.
Right. That's insane. Putting from 90 feet. That's my upshot.
Yeah, exactly. We're throwing from that distance.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Get back to being able to hit putts from anywhere inside 90 feet.
Well, I did get to see you last night, and you were firing them pretty good there. Now they didn't all go in, but you were going in, like you said, you were smashing them into the chains, and they were going straight at them, right?
Yeah, I don't do the hyzer putt because I find the wind, especially I'm from Saskatchewan, super windy. If you hyzer putt, the wind can take it, or it can just push it down, or just I guess there's no hills for it to roll away in Saskatchewan. But in Alberta, if you land hyzer putt too, it can roll, right? So I do my best I do a spin putt directly right at the basket. I don't think my putt ever goes above the band. So nose up spin putt, similar to Tristan's, but Tristan's a lot more smooth than I am. I'm angry.
Well, that's a good tip there, Daryl. If you don't throw it any higher than the band, there's no chance you're going to hit the band and bounce down and roll away like we do.
That's the problem with my Berg, is it has got 0 glide, right, or 1 glide. So I'm always leaving them short. But
the Berg should never roll, though, right?
That's the reason why I like it, because if I do miss, it's pretty close to the basket. So your second, the second putt is a tap in. But it would be nice to make that first putt.
Castoplast is going to have to give you something if you're going to keep talking about the Berg so much.
Berg captain.
Well, it does. I don't know. I still haven't tried this Ringer GT yet. That could be my new go-to. You never know.
Yeah. Well, Teri, you've got 35 tournaments under your belt in the short time that you've been playing. And when I was looking at your PDGA and just seeing as you grew, and it was like a couple here and then a few more, and then all of a sudden you did like 13 tournaments last year. I was like, how did you even squeeze that many in? Like, how do you figure that out? Is that like, especially now that you've told us you're managing a couple locations, how do you get all of that together? You got somebody who helps you plan, or what do you do? All you.
It's just me. My staff understands how passionate I am about disc golf. They actually come out and play casual rounds with me too now.
Okay, nice.
I'm creating the addiction early for them, but
there you go.
They understand, hey, you have a reputation to uphold. I think after moving to Alberta my first year in 2021, on PDGA I was number one in Alberta.
Wow.
So it took me 1 year to catch up to the other girls in Alberta, and I know a lot of them have been playing since they were kids. So that's huge. But also, I'm kind of psychotic, and I don't stop until I'm good at something. So that helps.
Well, it's got its benefits, it shows, yeah.
Yeah. And tournaments are fun. You make a lot of friends. You want to see them again. The only time that they're ever going to see them is at disc golf tournaments, because if you're going to travel to BC, why would you not play disc golf?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the more tournaments I go to, the more friends that I make, and the more messages being sent. Are you going to this one? I want to see at this one. Last year, I made a friend from Seattle, Adam Alexander. I call him Chef because he's a kitchen guy. It's funny actually. Middle of his round at TCO, I ask him, "What do you do for work? Is it restaurant? Are you a chef?" He goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I was like, "You look like it." And then I was like, "Guess me, guess what I do." And then he's like, "You're a programmer." I was like, "Excuse me?" No.
Programmer?
Nothing like it.
Yeah. But no, we made sure that we're I'm going to sign up for BC Open so that we can see each other there when he goes up too as well.
Awesome.
Great.
So you played 13 tournaments last year. How many, have you got your schedule planned out for this year? You know how many you're going to play this year?
Funny thing about last year, I think the year before that, I also played around 13, 14 tournaments.
Yeah.
I told myself I'm going to calm down. I'm only going to do like 6 or 7. But they're just too fun and they're too hard. Like when the TDs come up to you, like Wally, you know, and like Aspen Meadows crew, Jordan Elway, if they ask you, "Hey, are you coming to the tournament? I'll save you a spot if you need to. Like, make sure you register on time. But if you can't, let me know." Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say no. It's the community that sucks me in. Maybe I'm ready to play great. Maybe I'm not. But hey, I'm going to show up and do my best and have the most fun possible.
And everybody else on the card is going to have fun as well.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to be hard not to.
There's a girl last year. I joined Edmonton Open last minute. I think the last day of registration, I signed up. And she messages me and she's like, "Oh, great. I can't be negative. Missed positive be on the card." She's like, "Oh, I shanked my shot. But you're not OB, though."
We need you on our card, I think. Hey, Daryl?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm knowingly positive. But I was never always like this. I used to get in my head a lot, especially my first 2 years of tournaments.
Right.
So what made you change? Just like a mental thing inside yourself? So like, okay, enough of the negativity. Let's turn it around and use it for good.
I don't know how to say this nicely. You guys can cut this out later if you want. But female cards are a lot different than male cards.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot more mind games going on.
Oh,
okay.
That happened to me my first River City Cup here.
Okay.
Yeah, a very seasoned player kind of just badgered me down to belittle me to nothing, and instead of ignoring it, I was like, "I'm angry." Right. So then obviously I started playing not that great, and they started feeding off my negative energy, and and I think it was like second or third round, I finally was like, you know what, I'm gonna switch this off. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna have fun. Yeah. And because I was having fun, it made them perform not as good.
Oh, yeah. Great.
It's horrible, guys. I wish it was different, but it's just different on male and female cards. If you haven't noticed, like 99% of my friends are all guys.
There you go. Well, I was going to say, Terry, was that I had heard in, I think, I don't know, Daryl, might have been when I was listening to the Park Pro footage or something like that. Yeah. They were talking about that. It was Casey was one of the guys they were talking to, and just his feelings about kind of the mind games and stuff on a card. And he was saying, you know, if you play hockey, that's a thing that happens. Guys are chirping at each other and they're playing hockey. If you play soccer, if you play football, that's one of those things. But for me personally, I think that disc golf is difficult enough as it is, and you can be your own worst enemy. And it really is who's going to be the best person, who's ready the most on that day and performing the best. So to me, if someone's going to go and try to take you down, one, they feel you're a threat is the first thing. But two, that just doesn't seem like it's in the spirit of this sport and this game, because you bring out your best, I bring out my best. Let's support each other and let's just see who comes out on top. It shouldn't be, I'm going to rant here, but it really shouldn't be teasing each other, or not teasing each other, but trying to get in each other's heads.
How I play compared to how somebody else plays, even though we're on the same card, my shots should never affect their shots. Right. Unless it's like tiebreaker, like one stroke, final putt. Yeah, you have to run it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe that the difference was the fact that we're just amateurs. We're, you know, all the amateurs out there are out to have fun, right? But maybe when you start getting into that MPO, FPO level, obviously there's more on the card, there's more on the line, right? So did you find that you only really started finding that when you were starting to play professionally and not so much on the amateur cards? I mean, I know you
mean
didn't
that
stick
one
around.
amateur tournament?
Yeah, I was going to say you didn't stick around in the amateur leagues too much, but
there was tension in the amateur, my first tournament too. I actually missed a putt on hole 17, I believe, on the final round. And when I missed it, somebody on my card threw their hands up in the air and said, yes.
wow.
Oh.
I didn't see it. Actually, the Tournament Central people saw it.
Gotcha.
And so I think they were given a warning.
Well, the thing is it just goes to show how good you were even at that starting point, is that if people are feeling threatened from that, and also too, you're not trying to be in their head, but I'm sure you're already in their head if they're going, oh, good, she missed it, so that maybe I got a chance. Well, you always had a chance. You didn't need her to miss it to have a chance.
Yeah. I took this course for my job. It's called Extreme Ownership. Everything is your fault. You should admit everything is your fault. You could have done something to make it a bit better. Even if somebody gets out of their car and just starts randomly yelling at you, hey, maybe you could have handled the situation a little bit better.
Yeah.
If you go into every scenario in life with that mindset, you're always going to improve. You're always going to fix something about yourself, this personal development, right? But if you're playing the blame game, it's their fault, I lost, you're going to be stuck in that amateur kind of mentality forever.
Yeah.
Well, and I've heard it too, Terry and Daryl. I've heard it said, what you think about me is none of my concern, because it's what I think about me, right? So you can think whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. But it's hard to live that. It's easy to say it here on a podcast when we're not in the middle of a competition, but it is true. So.
I get that a lot too. Like, people always tell me, even at work, clients will come in and be like, "You're really intimidating." Sorry, I'm not intimidating. You're just intimidated.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
How you feel about yourself, if you're insecure about yourself, if there's something that you're hiding or something that you're not comfortable with, we usually project, which is not good.
Right.
And that's where the life coaching, mindset coaching, and the nutrition coaching comes in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to bring you back to the tournaments for a sec. So with the ones that you're looking at this year, do you have any favorite tournaments, or one that is like the top of your list you're very excited to participate in this year?
I just know that I want to do as many A tiers as possible. I think I've mapped out 6 or 7 A tiers. Nationals is finally coming to West Side, Canada.
Yes.
So that one I'm really excited about. Wally's 100th tournament I'm really excited about. I'm really torn between BC Open and River City Cup, though. BC Open, I get to see all my BC friends. Bigger playing field, better competition, better for personal development. River City Cup, it's my home course, my friends here, and I'm the defending champ for last year.
Oh, yes.
I think that was the first, second picture where I get to hold up a massive trophy. Just, So awesome. I don't know. I think I'll sign up for both, and just based on how my game is going, I'll decide which one I'm going to go to.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
For this year's goals, podium as many A-tier tournaments as I can.
Nice. Well, I was looking too, and I think it was it not this past year, but the year before. I think almost every tournament you were first or second. There might have been like 1/5 mixed in there or something that year. So, it's in you to do it. So I wouldn't doubt it would happen.
It's a mental struggle. We all get in our heads, right? Like you said, I'm thinking about the past. Oh, I shouldn't have bogeyed that hole. Everybody else birdied it.
And you really got to go, what's the next shot, right? That you can't undo that hole, so you just got to move on to the next one.
And that's something I'm learning too, because then once I started to forget, then I'm like, okay, I need to make it up now. So I'm going to run everything. Right. Oh, guys, I think there was a tournament, Four Sisters, the only tournament that was ever run there in Strathmore. I caused a massive backup. It was a par 5. And instead of laying up my putt, I kept running it. And with my spin putts, they just sail like 40 feet past.
Oh, no.
I think I 9-putted.
Wow.
So stubborn. I would not lay up. I was like, it's going to go in this time. No, it's going to go in this time. The next card was already more than halfway up the fairway. I could see Liam Hernberg sitting on his cart, leaning on his handle, just watching me back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So taking your medicine is very important too in tournaments.
Yes.
It's so amazing listening because I've had so many revelations just talking to you. We've only been talking for like 20 minutes, but that mental side of the game, like I always think that disc golf is just a game of putting a frisbee in a basket. But I know I have a Velcro patch on my bag that says "Let shit go," because one thing that I not struggle with, but I don't struggle with it, but I know that I do it. It doesn't, it's not one of those things that brings me down, but I know that I do it and I have to let it go. It's like you said, you missed that putt on the last hole. Not only are you thinking about it on that hole because you think I should have birdied it, but everybody else birdied it, I bogeyed it. On the next hole that you're playing, then you're thinking about that hole. So then you have a bad hole on that hole. And then you start thinking, well, that's only a knock-on effect from the previous hole, right? So getting out of your head, realizing that it's an individual game, you can only play your own game, and, don't worry about other things and just live in the moment or play in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you remember too, right? You're like, oh, this is the same distance of that same putt I just missed. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The cycle of bringing yourself down.
Yeah.
Well, that was it, Daryl. Do you remember too? The other thing we tried to do, Terry. I don't know if it's a strategy you'll look at, but we were doing Wetaskiwin, and when we were in the Battle 6 tournament, we actually made our own scorecard. So we said, forget about the course's scorecard. We're making a scorecard of what we think we can get, and that's what we're playing to, so that we didn't let the pars get in our mind as much to say, yeah, this is a par 3, but it's not for us. It's a par 4 for us. So if we get a par 3, we're happy, but that's not what we're going for.
How many pars did you put for hole 3?
Yeah. How many pars? Not very many.
How many? Is that tunnel shot, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a par 6. Yeah, a par 6.
Exactly. Yeah.
When she was saying the nine putts in that, I was just in my head. I was thinking of hole 5 at Wetaskiwin, Daryl, just trying to get to the Mando pole and get around the corner.
Yeah. 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 I think that was a good strategy, making our own game plan, that we knew holes that were pars were like birdies to us because it was the good score for us to get on that hole. Some holes we were like, well, this is birdieable, so we should expect a birdie. We're okay with a par. And then, like you said, some holes we were like, you know what? If we get a par, we'll be happy, but a bogey is what we're expecting to get. So that definitely changed our mindset going into that tournament.
Yeah.
Expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, setting them appropriately.
Oh, and my issue too at the beginning was having too much fun.
Too much fun?
Too much fun. Riley was like, dude, you're not focused.
Right.
I was like right underneath the basket. I was like, I'm going to turbo this in. Bounced right out.
Oh,
right.
No.
Yeah, but like, yes, that's fun in a casual round, but I probably shouldn't be doing that during a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But if it's your personality, if that's the way you are, then it's hard to get out of that, right? Because that's not being true to yourself. That's not being who you are. You're the entertainer. You're the person that wants to try and not show off so much, but entertain or just do that quirky little putt because you can. That's who you are. So it's hard to break that, I guess.
Whereas, like as opposed to Jeremy just carefully dropping it in to make sure there's no chance it falls off the rim or something like that.
The other thing that I don't want to say struggled with, but I'm trying to change the way that I play is playing shots that my card mates throw. So if they can throw a long hyzer and it drops near the basket, I think, well, I'm around the same range. So what did you use? Okay, yeah, I think I can do that. No, just play your own game. Play the shot that you can play, because it's never going to work out if you try and copy someone else's game.
Very, very true.
Yeah. So with tournaments coming up this weekend, by the time this is released, it will have already happened. But while we're talking tonight, the Tundra Toss is on Sunday. And it looks to me, well, this is the 3rd year of it, or this rendition, if there's been ones before. And it's the biggest one. We've got 21 holes. We've got a fairly big FPO field as far as I would think for a local one. 5, and I've got them here we've got Brady, we got Jerry Ann coming in from Saskatchewan, right? And we got you, and we got Kristen, and then we got Zoe. So I'm sure you're familiar with all of those players. And are you pumped? Are you psyched? Do you do anything to plan for this and knowing who you're playing against, or what do you do?
I wish I had more time to prep, but that's what Saturday's going to be. 2 years ago, I got a slipped disc in my back.
Oh.
It's right when I turned 30. Yay, 30. And then the year after that, I separated the ligaments that attach to this bone here.
Wow.
Oh,
So I lost a lot of power in my putts. This year, I'm going to focus more on taking care of myself. I already tore my glute.
Oh, my
I'm in a little
goodness.
bit of pain, but I've gone to physio, acupuncture, deep tissue massages. They said I should be good to go. I just need to continuing to strengthen.
Right.
gotcha.
So
So
less
then,
working, more working out.
Wow.
But
so have you used that information to kind of set your goals for the tournament, or have you what have you set as your own personal goals for this first tournament of the season?
no expectations.
Hey,
No expectations. Something funny I'll tell you guys about last Tundra Toss. So I won the first Tundra Toss. I was in Edmonton for. And then the second Tundra Toss, I decided to make edibles the night before. They were so good. I couldn't stop eating them. So at Tundra Toss, I was greening out while I was playing. I was throwing up under the trees.
oh no!
I will not do that this year.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Good. Good lesson. You
Literally,
should
people
learn
coming
your
up to me,
mistakes.
"Are you okay?" And I'm just like, I just want to finish this round. I'm like suffering, but I couldn't stop smiling. I'm just like, I just want to finish this round. Yeah, so no edibles this weekend. No.
That's fair. That's a good rule to live by, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pro tip for everyone.
Yeah.
I am rooting for, who is it? There's two girls that have been really popping off and really advancing their game. And shout out to Jerry Ann and Zoe. Every time I watch them play via Instagram or in person, they are getting better by a lot.
Yeah.
So
Good.
huge congrats to them. Again, positivity, right?
Yeah.
Get
Yes.
what you put in, and they've been putting in a lot of work. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to bring to the table this weekend.
Well, and
Awesome.
with Zoe there just posted that she had her first ace. And if I'm right, it's on that weird hole that we've got on the layout, wasn't it? That one where we're on the tee pad sideways?
Yeah.
Three
I'm like,
tee
out of
pad,
all the holes on the course, Daryl, that's the one
Yeah.
she aced.
Yeah.
She beat
You
me
know, if
to it.
it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right?
She got her first ace before I got my first ace, and I'm not sad about it.
Oh, yeah. So you're still chasing your first ace. You had that cage hit you told us about. Have you had any other close calls?
Tons.
Yeah.
I think it was River City or Drayton last year. I hit the band on 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was that
Wow.
11 at, do you think that was at Hermitage?
Rundle.
Or Rundle? At Rundle, okay.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about Lethbridge. So spring runoff this year, we're planning to go down there. Can you tell us what we're in for there? You mentioned about the wind, no floaty hyzer putts, Jeremy.
That's kind of my game, Daryl.
That's your game, yeah. Well, you said putting league the other night that Terry was forcing you to spin putt, and you got 17 out of 18. You said, I think. So,
No, get it right. Wasn't it like
Sorry.
19, the first 19 or something, was it, Terry, that one night with the coat rack?
Wasn't it you that got like 23 out of 25? Was it you?
Yep.
23
Yeah.
out of 25. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah. So what can we expect at Lethbridge?
Um,
Wind is a thing.
Wind is very, very much there.
Right.
There is a water carry hole at Aperture. Aperture is very cute. It's definitely, you need a forehand and a backhand for that course, or
Okay.
you can be very stubborn and do turnovers like me. But there's lots of tunnel shots. There's lots of sharp hyzer shots, sharp Anheuser shots, and yeah, and the Nicholas Sheeran is it's a bomber course. Hole 1 is a par 5, like 100-foot par 5.
Like over 800 feet, right? I think, yeah.
Yeah, and there's the road on the right side. So if you get too greedy, you turn your disc over, you're hitting road rash.
Oh, that sounds like Daryl's experience at Nor'Wester, doesn't it, Daryl?
I thought you weren't going to bring that up, Jeremy, but that's okay. Yeah.
Not just road rash, you get truck rash, I think, as well, right?
At least I didn't hit a kid.
Jeremy.
Anyway.
Yes, moving along.
I think they also have 3 raised baskets.
Oh, okay, that'd be interesting. I've never played on a raised basket before. I know you played at Rose Hill last TCO, Jeremy's, which um is it? Yeah, Rose Hill, right? With the
Yep.
pyramid. Yeah. So yeah, and I didn't play in River City last year with the raised basket either. So that'll be interesting for me to putt on that.
Mm-hmm.
So raised
What?
baskets. Funny story. All my friends laugh at me whenever I have to putt at a raised basket because I'm known to putt Mach 1000 at a raised basket, and more times than not, it goes over. And as soon as it goes over, you can see my face in the video. Look back, like, oh. So don't putt Mach 1000 at a raised basket, people.
So can you give me some tips for putting in the wind up to a raised basket?
Keep your disc flat, and if you're gonna have aim for the band.
Okay.
But if it's a headwind, don't aim for the band, aim for the cage.
Okay.
But
Okay.
spin putts always win in the wind.
Gotcha.
Some putts for the king. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're so excited. We've already booked ourselves a VRBO. We've got a place to stay. We're just hoping that on Friday when registration opens that we can get in.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. We've done the same thing for nationals as well, where we've got a place to stay, but we don't have a registration yet. But we're working on it.
Just gotta set the timer, have it already loaded, so when the time hits, you just hit register.
That's it.
Good tip. I'm loving it. So many pro tips tonight there, Daryl.
That's it. That's what we bring her on for.
I think 2 years ago when I was playing Rundle League, EDGA, a lot of us are tournament goers. It was like mid-round. Everyone's like, stop, it's 8 o'clock. Everyone register again. Stop what they're doing. And like, hey, can we play through? Shh. Praying for their tournament. So as long as you have a good group of friends that'll remind each other and, hey, text, hey, dude, sign up. There's only 2 spots left.
Right.
You'll get in.
Well, and Kristen had told us when she was on the show too, like we knew about Disc Golf Scene, but for whatever reason, we'd never looked at that follow button. And then once you click the follow button, they email you everything. If someone makes a comment on the tournament, you hear about it. So you'd only miss by not reading your emails at that point.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I like I said, I want to do like 6 or 7 tournaments this year. But I think on my disc golf scene, I'm following 14 tournaments right now.
That's because you're narrowing down.
So we'll see what happens. And I haven't gotten a chance to play the Lost Egg tournament yet, but I hear really good things about it. They pump a lot of extra added cash in it, which helps.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to try to get out there for that one this year too, if it's not the same time as another A-tier tournament nearby.
Yeah, I guess Teri has a different way of approaching which tournament she plays in because we're just playing. Yeah, exactly. You're playing for the cash, right? We're just playing for the experience and what we're going to get in our players pack, right? We just want to play different courses and want to just get out there and play more disc golf. But for you, it's all about that. It's all about the green.
I don't know how many discs you guys own, but between my partner and I, we have over 350 right now. So I don't need any more players packs.
That's fair. Yeah.
We have a problem.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too we've looked at, Daryl, or we've talked about it, is that there are global masters points and other things that might be what we will see come up. Because I think in my mind, I don't know if Daryl's quite on board with it yet, but I've been I talk all the time, Teri, when we're talking about the podcast. I'm like, we got to plant seeds, Daryl. We'll plant seeds, we'll water them, and we'll watch them grow. That's what we'll do. So the one that I planted on him was, I'm like, World's Masters is in Minneapolis in 2025, and the Preserve is not a long drive from there. And we get extra. What do we get? We get early registration because we're from Canada. And
exactly. Yeah.
Got lots of time to plan. Can't say you didn't get time off work. Right.
That's right.
Jeremy's very well known for planting seeds, and I say it's okay you planting all these seeds, but you just got to keep watering them, Jeremy. So every week there's a little bit more water that he keeps planting on me. He keeps watering that seed.
Yeah.
Leave sticky notes on his car.
Exactly. So Teri, we want to talk about sponsors, and we know this section could go on a while because you have a lot of sponsors. There's a lot of people who want to be part of Teri's journey. So we want to start with BR for the first one. And we are also too, we're amateurs that we're aspiring to maybe one day be a sponsor, or some of our listeners are. So we want to hear all about your different sponsorships. So you are the captain of the 2024 BR Ambassador team. So congratulations on that. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us about that. What does it mean to be on the BR Ambassador team? What does it mean to be the captain? Give us the lowdown.
Girls, shh. I'm in a podcast. That's okay. She says she's sorry. And then I retract it, so I guess it's okay. VR. So I'm very honored to be team captain. I think out of everybody, I play the most tournaments, so I know the competitive side of things. I've probably Gabe's been playing for like ever since he was like 4 years old, so he probably has more rounds than me. But I think when I first started playing disc golf, I cleared 500 rounds in 1 year.
Wow.
Whoa.
Full rounds.
Wow.
So being an ambassador on the course, people getting to know me, me onboarding new people too. I think that has a really big role in being able to lead a team.
Yeah.
My social media presence when I'm active, it's nonstop disc golf content here and there. I'm exploring different stuff too. I'm trying to get into TikTok as well, but voiceovers. I have a very unique voice. I've been told by a lot of people, use it.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to do a little bit more voiceovers for my disc golf videos too, but I'm encouraging the team to also, hey, it's okay to post, right? Whatever your journey is, you can even post a missed shot. Make something funny of it. Say, hey, this is my progress so far. You kind of want that paper trail, because when you finally make it to where you want to be, you want to look back and say, hey, this is all the struggles that I had to go through to get to where I am today. BR, with most of my sponsors, actually, they didn't reach out directly. It was actually referrals from friends.
Oh,
all right.
I think Brendan Kudrowicz was originally on BR first, and he had let Brendan McKinstry know, hey, there's this girl, Teri Hong. She doesn't have a sponsor yet, and she's out all the time. Right? Mob golf. When I first started here, I was always like constantly in groups of like 8 to 12 people. I'm like, oh, this is taking 4 hours. But it's hard to say no to new friends. It was really hard to say no to new friends. So yeah, referrals, like word of mouth. If you have good energy, you're a good person, people are going to talk about you. That's how I got reached out by BR, was word of mouth.
Awesome.
Good.
We spoke to Brendan a few episodes ago, and we mentioned about the stickers. He showed us the sticker sheet from 2023. He didn't give us any insights into the 2024. He kind of alluded to it. Do you know any more? Is there going to be a 2024 sticker sheet this year?
I believe so.
Okay.
He better do it, because I'm on the team this year. But,
there you go, Brendan.
That's the whole reason I accepted the offer, right? Was the sticker.
They're really good. The team, when I talked to the team last year, they said they had no idea he was doing those stickers too. So it was a good surprise that he just did without even asking, or like he just did it on his own. By the way, sick mustache. Brendan.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
He can rock the mustache for sure.
Yeah.
No, he's very honestly very involved with the disc golf community. He just wants to grow the sport. I know that he's sponsored a lot of tournaments just for the sake of, hey, just let me help you guys. I'll give away some free prizes and stuff, just so more people will come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's been a lot of give on his end, which I'm really happy about.
Well, and with that as well, Teri, we just before we had you on, we were showing the contest prize that we have, and part of it was we put that bindle bag in that I got from you just last night. So he was able to give you a bunch of different items that you could then sell and promote and use that to help you with your touring. So, just seeing that kind of support, and even what he's done for the podcast before and since we've had him on, he's just, you can tell, like you said, he's connected to the community, and all he wants to do is push it forward.
Yeah, build courses, get more people involved. He sent me a box of stuff to sell. There's a little printing paper that says funds goes towards Teri's tour funds. Right?
Yeah.
Sales proceeds go towards Teri's tour fund. I didn't ask him to do that. We didn't even talk about it. He just shipped it to me, and it just showed up.
That's so
cool. Yeah.
So it's
awesome.
Volumes when someone just does stuff without, bragging and recognition about it. Hey, look at me, look what I'm doing. They just
yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it because he's a good person. Yep. Yeah. So moving on from BR, your one of your other sponsors, your disc sponsor, is Yikun Discs.
Yes, it's actually pronounced Yikun, but it's
Oh,
okay.
that was going to be one of my questions. Is how do you pronounce it?
Yikun.
Equin.
Yikun.
Okay.
That was my first question to them when they did my video interview before I got onboarded. Great brand, cheap discs, great quality plastic. Again, somebody from Instagram referred me.
Okay.
Somebody from South Carolina, I believe, SoCal. Her Instagram handle is Lefty Heiser. But he actually got on their team first, and they asked, "Hey, do you know any ambassadors that would be good for us?" And he recommended me, and they reached out.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And how long have they been your sponsor?
I just signed on for the 3rd year in a row.
3rd year. Nice.
Yeah. And I'm not as familiar with Yikun. Where are they based out of SoCal, or where are they based out of?
Ningbo, China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they have so they've got a lot of stores that they've got their discs in here. Everybody who wants them can get them, and they're easy to get that way. Or
Infinite provides it to a lot of the disc stores in Canada.
okay.
I think a lot of them go through Infinite. But yeah, they're great plastic. Doesn't cost an arm and a leg. They're coming out with like 6 to 9 new molds every year too.
Wow.
New plastic too. They just came out with a new plastic called Glaze. It's really nice.
Awesome. How does that work for you? Is it like an open bag that you can have? Is it a percentage? Like, how does that work for you with the sponsorship?
I need to bag 70%.
Okay.
Bag 70%.
There you go.
The discs here in Edmonton fly a lot different than they do in the States and also in China, right?
All right.
A lot of the drivers are way too beefy for me. Look at this little noodle arm. So I love a lot of their fairways and their mids and putters.
Gotcha. So that's where your 70% is focused?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Do they have like a starter pack? I mean, I haven't seen them when we looked at Gander. They didn't have any starter packs or anything like that. Can you buy the starter pack through Infinite?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So anyone just getting into the sport can definitely, somewhere good for them to start with that brand anyway. Yeah.
Lots of beginner-friendly discs. One thing that I really like about them is a lot of their discs have more shallow rims. So for smaller hands, females,
Right.
kids, juniors, or just people with small hands. Sorry, dude.
Right.
The small rim really helps. It really you can get a good grip on it, and you can really spin the disc. And they have a lot of flippy discs too, which I love. Heiser flipping discs. It's like wow.
It always looks good when you can do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things.
And just recently, Gavin Beamish just signed on with them as well. Yeah, another Edmonton junior, an up and comer. Yeah.
And he's killing it. He's posting a lot of videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's going to be...
But he's only like 14, 15, 16 years old or something. I don't know how old he is, but he's...
backhanding over 400 feet.
Yeah.
Yes. He's going to be one to watch for sure this year. Just like even last year, we were seeing him kind of coming up and placing quite high in some tournaments and winning tournaments. But I think watching those videos he's putting out and seeing all the work that he's putting in, I was at the Friday night clinics and he was there doing, he probably doesn't need the clinic part, but he was doing it anyways for the throwing. And then he was going out and doing the hour of throwing afterwards and just throwing it across the whole field. So I'm expecting great things out of him this year.
And those are max weight discs he's throwing.
Wow. Yeah.
Good kid. I'm excited.
Well, Teri, last year with Yikun Discs, you actually had one, and I'm assuming it was an Yikun, that actually had the Heiser Bomb Hong stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you had one at Putting League there still that you were hanging on to, and that was amazing. It was wonderful. I was like, oh, how do we get them? And you were like, oh, no, these ones are all done. Are you going to have some this year?
Yes!
Yay!
I'm going to get more. Last year, I literally sold out in 2 weeks, and I felt so bad. So many people wanted them. I was like, guys, I don't know when I'm going to get more. But I think we ordered, through OKDS, we ordered like 75 of them.
Wow. That was this year or last year was 75?
Last year.
75 and
Okay.
you're out in 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
That's awesome. So you're planning to get more this year?
Yes. And I give
Supply
you
and
guys
demand.
full permission to share what it looks like later.
Yeah,
Yes.
we may as well talk about that right now, Jeremy. Do you want to talk about it right now?
Definitely. I'm going to pull it up on my phone that you sent
Yeah.
it to me because I was in awe. I sent it to Daryl. I'm like, Daryl, you've got to see this picture that's going on. This stamp is going to be fire.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And how did you come up with that design? Where did that design come from?
Oh man, lots of fun. I'm lucky enough. Last year's design was actually designed by Sarah Candelaria. She's an employee here at Fit Theorem.
Okay.
She's also a really good friend, and she's like, "I'll do it for you, dude. I love it." She goes, "It took me 3 hours, but it was so much fun." So just keep sending me. I just give her an idea. Like last year, I told her I want a bomb exploding a basket and maybe a flower in the background and Heiser bomb hung and Yikun discs written somewhere. So she put it all together. We did a few edits, mods, and then finally it came together and said, "That's the one." This year, I've asked not only Sarah to help me design, but also Tyler Hohalter. He's a tattoo artist in Calgary.
Yes.
He plays disc golf, and so do his brothers. They're all really good disc golfers. He was more than happy to jump on board and say, "I'd love to help you design something." I think we designed like maybe three different designs before I was like, okay, I'm finally happy with this one. So thank you for your patience, Tyler.
And that's it. That's it. At the end of the day, like you've got to be happy with it, right? There's no point someone else's vision of it. It's got to be what you want it to be.
Exactly.
And looking at it, it's iconic with your blue and pink. And yeah, you're looking at it. You're going to look at it and you're going to know it's a Heiser bomb design, right?
Well, Daryl and I, we can describe it a bit. Like, we've got a hand on there. There's a flower. I would say those are some clouds behind, if I've got that right. And then we've got your stamp right in the middle of the hand. But the thing is Daryl's going to put it up because we can't do it justice. Yeah. It's a thing of beauty. So tell us, if you've thought about it, do you know what discs this stamp is going to go on? Do you have any ideas or any preferences?
Hammers for sure, because they were the first ones to sell out last year.
Okay.
Out of the 75, 30 of them were hammers. And
what disc is a hammer?
2303.
Okay.
I think when Tristan he picked one up to support my cause, he threw it on hole 2 at Rundle. He's like, it's just a little chipper, it's a putter, right? He threw it, and it was on the other side of 18's fairway. He's like, that disc goes. But it has enough stability that actually comes back too. It doesn't just turn over too, which is really nice. But that's one of their most famous, popular discs is the hammer. Very reliable, really good for forehand rollers too. Apparently.
Nice.
I'm not adventurous enough to try.
So for all of our listeners, you don't have to give us an exact date, but we're all going to be chomping at the bit. When do you think we might be able to get one of those in our hands, and how would we do it?
We're looking at April. Yes. How would you do it? It's going to be on the BR website. I'm probably going to have a box of them in my trunk going from tournament to tournament. Hit me up on Instagram or go through the BR website as well. You can do that.
Great.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Next sponsor, Daryl?
Next sponsor. Yeah. Like I say, we keep doing our research on you. Next up is TeeBoxSox.
Yay! Again, referral, you guys.
All right, we're seeing a theme here.
Yeah.
So I think Jerry Ann Brownbridge first got sponsored by them. She talked very highly of me. She honestly is a big rock supporter in where I am today. She has a really strong story too. Her first tournament ever, I was at Sask Open. I think it was my first FPO tournament. I don't know what I was doing, guys. I won FA1. I had to move up, right? I had to move up.
Right.
I went there with a buddy. He teed off a lot earlier than I did. So I just went there and I was actually just practicing my putts and throwing putters on a gravel road where her tent was set up, and she comes out and I just started talking to her. Oh, hey, how are you? How are things going? Blah, blah, blah. And she has almost tears in her eyes. She's like, you're the first person to actually talk to me at this tournament.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh, well, when I come throw putters, I lost one.
So instant best friends?
She mentions it often that was one of the first community encounters that she's ever had in the disc golf community, and it just encouraged her, hey, if this person can be like that, I can be like that, other people should be like that, we should all be welcoming everybody into the disc golf community.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she was sponsored. And I know TeeBoxSox, they were sending me messages, and they were also commenting on all my content being like, we love you. So when they announced that they're taking applications, I submitted and didn't hear back for a while, so I was kind of concerned. And I was like, hey, just checking in on my application. And they responded almost right away being like, you already know we love you. We're just taking our time going through all the applicants. I'm like, okay, thank you so much, guys.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was up at the Oil Sands Open last year, and that was actually one of the parts of the amateur player pack was a pair of TeeBoxSox. So they had done, in Fort McMurray at the Rotary course downtown underneath the bridge, they've got a big spray painted mural. It's very colorful. It's got a black bear on it, and that's what they put on those TeeBoxSox. So they're really quite cool. So now with the sponsorship that you have with them, is there going to be a Heiserbaum Hong
There sure
TeeBoxSox too?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there will be. I want to collab with BR though, so that it'll have BR's logo and some sort of Heiserbaum Hong on there, so that he can carry them in store too, and I can go and fundraise for them too as well.
Man, Daryl, we're going to be like totally outfitted. We'll be HBH everything.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe you can bet your ass it's going to be cotton candy. Can I say that on?
You just did.
You can bet. It'll be everything cotton candy color. So for the people who don't know me or haven't seen me play disc golf, all my discs are pastel cotton candy colored. And I even spray painted my cart at one of my Lethbridge tournaments. I stopped at JK Discs to pick up a cart. And then I went to Lethbridge, and then in between rounds, I went and spray painted my cart cotton candy color. So, yeah, cotton candy everything. It's easy to find.
Fantastic.
Never going to get that mixed up.
And then I think we're almost to done the sponsors, because if we miss any, you let us know. But the one that we know is your newest sponsor is Beast. So tell us a bit about Beast Disc Golf, because we don't know a lot about them yet. But what we do know, and if anybody hasn't seen it, make sure to go and find Teri's video where she was opening up her first package, because I don't think I've seen anybody more excited than you were when that first package of stuff came in.
It was so pretty. Yeah. So Beast Disc Golf, they're based out of the States. They want to get more involved in Canada. So they're actually working with me to make sure that shipping costs and duties isn't going to be through the roof to be able to provide to Canada. They are also making custom jerseys and custom hoodies for me this year.
Oh,
I forgot. BR Disc Golf is also making custom jerseys for me this year.
Oh, my.
that's awesome.
Those will be available for the public to buy as well.
Cool. So now with Beast Disc Golf, are they everything disc golf? Are they mainly clothing? What do they do on that side of it?
So mainly shirts and hoodies.
Gotcha. Yeah, that
So
hoodie
really-
go ahead, Daryl.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that hoodie, though, it was so awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Wow.
For the listeners there, we got a thumbs up, and then with the phone, it gave us some fireworks and excitement. It was perfectly timed with our conversation.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that all we need now is you need to get a legging, like Lululemon leggings or something like that, and then you get the shoe sponsor, and you'll be kit out from head to toe.
Yes.
You got your jerseys, you got your hoodies, you got your socks.
Pending.
Oh.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought, just having the TeeBoxSox and the discs in my hand was enough, but now I'm going to be able to have a jersey, a hoodie, and possibly something else. Who knows?
I actually got the hookups, again, another referral for a vitamin company. They're the kinds where you like swab your spit and like you send it into them and they find out exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And they send you specific pills. So they are ready to sponsor me too, but I just need to get my TikTok off the ground.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good
So
stuff.
that's interesting. Do certain sponsors obviously want you to be stronger on certain platforms?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh. Is that the only one that's like that, or is everybody else happy with your Instagram and where else? Are you on YouTube as well?
No,
Not yet.
no YouTube. Yeah, so far just the vitamin company has just asked me to link my TikTok and get it as high as my Instagram.
There you
Well,
go. If that's a challenge for you, I'm sure you're up for it.
Oh, it's a lot of work, guys. I'm the one that makes the videos and posts them too. So I'm like, oh, what else? What time? I just need more time.
well, Teri, give it about.
Do they have to be separate from your Instagram, or can they be reposts of your Instagram videos?
They can be reposted.
I will send you a link.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Daryl, you know what? Don't worry about YouTube. In a week from now, you're gonna be on YouTube as well with this one. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, did we? I believe we've covered all of your sponsors. Are we right? Yeah. All right. Well, you had focused a little bit at the start there on Teri the coach, is what I'm calling this section. So let's talk a little bit about Fit Theorem and kind of how that ties into your disc golf and just how everything comes together. So you said you were kickboxing and you were instructing out in Saskatchewan, and then you got brought over to Fit Theorem, and now you're managing both locations, one in Windermere and one in Sherwood Park. I'm just recapping because I want to make sure I got it right.
Yes. Correct.
Yes, my memory is good, Daryl. I'm still MA40.
There you go.
Yeah. So one of the classes that we do here, I've actually seen a lot of Kevin Jones and Ricky Wysocki doing the same workouts on Instagram.
Okay.
For those people who don't know what animal flow is, it's like an active flow yoga. You're constantly either on your hands or your feet, or all your hands and your feet, but your knees should technically never touch the ground. And you're going from one animal pose to the other. Some people have told me it looks like capoeira or slow motion breakdancing, but it's designed to strengthen and lengthen all your ligaments, tendons, and B, strengthen all the tiny little muscles that hold your joints together. And people who sling discs, your joints definitely pop in and out when you throw discs. So you can strengthen those guys up. That's huge. Nutrition is huge too, because if I'm malnourished, I definitely don't play as well on the course, right? We all have that one friend that's like, I'm losing energy. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm not playing good because I didn't bring any snacks. But
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you said that with the tendons and stuff, I've been seeing Tristan for my elbow because I had overworked it, trying to play as many rounds as I could. My body just wasn't ready for it. So a workout like that would be right up my alley. I don't know how I would do with it, but I would be interested to learn more about it for sure.
It's huge. And just you can gain height as well because your posture's getting better and loosening up all the tight tendons and ligaments in your body, right? That's holding you back and your tight back and your hips and things.
Wow. So that sounds, to your casual 40-year-old disc golfer, that sounds like it's a pretty intense workout. Who do you suggest that comes to Fit Theorem to get in better shape? Is it for everybody?
It is absolutely for everybody. We have a strength building program and we have a fat loss program. It caters to everybody. We also have programs where people just get into a routine, right? They don't really want to lose fat or gain muscle mass. They just want to get into a regular routine. We also have a program where you're just building a better relationship with food because unfortunately during COVID, a lot of people started binge eating, eating disorders. What I find in a lot of the clients that come here, they truly believe that if they eat less, they'll be less. But that's not the case. It slows your metabolism down. You're losing muscle. You're losing water. You're not losing fat. You're actually gaining fat because you're slowing your metabolism down, right? And so they might be happy. Oh, I lost 10 pounds. Okay, but you lost 10 pounds of skeletal muscle mass and bone density and water.
Yeah.
So now your metabolism is a lot slower. You're just going to keep gaining more fat. So it's very, very important. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of lies out there on TikTok, everyone. So be careful.
Yeah.
But once you get on there, you're going to set them all straight, right?
Exactly. I'm a tough love coach. I just say it how it is. You know me. I'm super blunt. I don't hold anything back. I don't sugarcoat anything. But as long as our core values here is really strong too. That's why I believe in this brand, and that's why I picked up my entire life in Saskatoon and I moved here. The core value is to defeat mediocrity, ignite human potential, and transform lives, mind, body, and spirit. Now, with those, there's 6 things that we need to do with every single action, have these intentions with every action, and every action that we do is lead with love. That doesn't matter how tough you're being on somebody, as long as you're coming from a place of love, they know that they need to do it and it's good for them, right? Be a lighthouse. Every single one of the coaches here, you are a lighthouse, and there is a big sea of lost people. Not only are you the lighthouse for them to find their way, but you can also keep them warm, nurture them, take good care of them, and send them back on their way when they're ready, right?
Right.
Next one is grow or die. During COVID, how many businesses had to switch to virtual, switch to takeout, switch to something, right? Those businesses who refused to grow died.
Yeah.
And fun fact, actually, we opened up this studio here in Windermere during COVID.
Wow.
It was a huge risk for a lot of gyms, right?
Yeah.
Think big. Don't just think about right now. Don't just think about this shot. Think about the next shot or the next hole, the next par, the next round, right? What's your goals going forward? Focus on the bigger picture. Don't just be stuck in like today land.
Yeah.
Self mastery. If you're not constantly working on yourself to be the best version of yourself, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
And the last one is be coachable. You have to be coachable. If you're not coachable, you're stubborn, you're not going to learn anything. People around you just don't want to be around you, period, if you're not somebody who's going to be able to take constructive criticism properly, right?
Yeah. Well, and Teri too is if on your Instagram and that, and seeing some of the before and during and after photos that you've posted, like the transformation is crazy. Like Daryl, if we could even get half of what Teri's gotten, we'd be so happy.
Yeah.
I'm very stubborn. And growing up, I was really lean, but I was so sick and tired of people saying, you don't understand. You've never been fat. You've never had extra weight. You've never been big. You've been skinny your whole life. I purposely went and gained 30 pounds of fat and then lost it again just to prove a point.
Oh, wow.
So that's powerful too, right? I think that's just like the stubbornness inside of me being like, oh yeah, you want to bet?
Yeah, you'll prove them wrong, right?
I had so many Big Macs and Whoppers just to get there.
Was that a good time in your life, or was that a bad time because you know what damage you were doing to your body? Not damage, but like how bad it was for your body.
I noticed I was angry all the time. So even though I was eating like greasy foods that made me feel good temporarily, my patience was very low. My stress levels were very high. It goes hand in hand, right? You take care of your body, you take care of your mind.
Yeah. So if someone's going to come in, say, Daryl, well, I'm not putting Daryl and I on the line here yet, Daryl. I'm not going to do that yet because I'm scared. But if a disc golfer was interested in coming into Fit Theorem and they were going to participate in some classes and some courses, what should they expect? Like, what is it going to be like when you come in?
45 minutes of whoop ass. So our kickboxing class is 45 minutes nonstop cardio, right?
Okay.
And then we have our strength class, which is 45 minutes of basically nonstop lifting weights. And then the flow, active flow, you get lots of breaks in between because we understand that you can't hold your body weight up for 45 minutes solely on your hands and your wrists. It takes a big toll on them, right? Yeah. But honestly, the kickboxing really helps with your cardio because who loses steam by second round, third round?
Right.
And then the strength building too. Guys, our backpacks are like close to 30 pounds sometimes with all the boxes that we carry. Yeah. Flow, mobility, making sure that you're not super tight, your shoulders not icing up, your hips not icing up, your back's not icing up, right? So it's just well-rounded, good for everything if you are ready to take that next step into your game.
And if someone's coming in, how often would they come in during a week? What's the recommended time? Is it up to the person or kind of if they're just starting out? Or
the recommended to keep going in the right direction is 3 times a week. The recommended for maintenance is 1 to 2 times a week, depending on their metabolic rate. So we have a fancy scale here, so we can tell people's metabolism.
Oh. Do you have a is it like a 6-week program, a 10-week program, or is it just you come and you keep going until we tell you to stop?
We do. So we have a 6-week challenge that onboards people into a healthier lifestyle. I always tell people this is not only 6 weeks. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. So we want to make sure everybody has that mindset. They're going to be listening to the signs that their body gives them. They're going to be getting enough sleep. Sleep is so important for recovery. They have to drink enough
Daryl,
water.
we need to know that.
Hey, do you guys know how much the human body should be made up of water?
How much it should be? It's high, right? Over like 70% or something, or even more, is it? Or
60 to 80%, so 70% staying on.
oh, okay.
There you go.
Majority, I see on average 3 to 8 new people a day coming to check out the gym. I've only seen one person 60%.
Wow.
And I think we've had over 1,200 people who have done the 6-week challenge here with us. Every single person in the world is dehydrated. When you don't have enough water, your organs can't do what they need to do. They start to fail, right? It also slows your metabolism down. Guess what, guys? Water also lives inside your muscles. You need it. But it's not just about drinking the water that's going to help you increase your retention, right? If you're drinking water right away and you're peeing right away, that's actually more detrimental to you. You're flushing out your vitamins and your minerals and your electrolytes. We got to look at the foods that we're eating. Magnesium, potassium. For people who don't have high cholesterol or high blood pressure, they need to be having some sodium because it's part of your electrolytes. So, unless you're high blood pressure or high cholesterol, we need sodium. Salt's not bad for you. It's only bad for you if you eat lots of salt and don't drink any water.
Right. And it's probably also all the fat and stuff in the hamburger that goes with the salt. It's not just the salt that's in there.
The stigma, right? There's a stigma of people and snacks. People are constantly eating snacks that if you can't read the ingredients without stuttering or you can't pronounce something in the ingredients list, you probably shouldn't put it in your mouth. Yeah.
And then with those 6-week classes, is that just kind of once 6 weeks done, you guys are starting the next one? So it's just kind of waiting for the right time to join? Is that what it would be? Or
yeah, so we depending on how many people are serious about doing it. So obviously we want the people who are the most serious because coaching 20 people takes a long time. A lot of focus. I'm actually just finishing a wave right now. I'm coaching a total of 23 challengers. They're in week 5 right now. They start week 6 on Monday. My most successful challengers have already lost over 15 pounds of fat each. They're already down 6 to 8% body fat. And you can physically see how much slimmer they've gotten and also how much happier they've gotten is a huge thing. We always like to celebrate non-scale victories. It's not just about the number on the scale, you guys. That is so toxic. That's old school, right? How do you feel? Do you have more energy? Because if you have more energy, you can do more. And when you can do more, your bosses notice you faster. When your bosses notice you faster, you get a promotion quicker, right? You take care of yourself, you take care of your energy, you take care of your mind, and the money will come. It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, and you answered go ahead, Daryl.
I was just going to say that's also a different mindset as well. Once you get into that 6-week program, once you finish it, you're going to keep it going. You're not just going to do the 6 week and stop and think, okay, that's it. Like you're in that mindset, you're in that progression. It's once you get started. I mean, that's what a lot of people have struggled with, right? I know myself. I'll throw myself under the bus. So many times I'll try and get started. I'll go out for a run. I'll get on the treadmill. I'll try and lift some weights, and I'll do it for a week or two, and then something will come up. I'll get busy at home or at work, and I won't have time to work out that day. And then I'll do it tomorrow. But then that I'll do it tomorrow turns into, well, I'll do it next week. I'll make sure I'll get back on the plan next week. And before you know it, 4 or 5 weeks have gone by, and then you're right back at square one again, right? But if you can get in that mindset of doing it and keep consistently doing it, it just becomes easier and easier, and then it's like second nature.
Without offending anyone in the world, that laziness saying, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, that's not you talking, that's the fat talking. When you have more fat on your body, it does slow your metabolism down, which gives you less energy, right?
Right.
I just had to have some water there, Teri, now that you've been talking about it.
My dog that I just the other day.
Have you noticed I haven't touched my beer since Teri started talking about this? I'm like, I want to drink, but I don't want to drink a beer anymore.
Mindset change, right? So when people are actually coming to do the onboarding for the 6-week challenge, I always do a mental check with them. I get them to imagine you don't do anything. You go back to, I'll think about it. Thinking about it goes into 5 minutes, to 5 days, to 5 weeks, to 5 more years. The clothes you're wearing now don't fit because they're too tight. you're even more tired. You can't spend time with your kids. You can't keep up with them. You get mad at them when they ask you to play with them because you're so tired all the time. I asked them, how is this going to affect your home life and your work life? Oh, not good, right? Not good. Some of them start crying too. I'm like, here's a Kleenex box. And then I said, okay, let's erase that. Forget about it. Forget about it. Let's scratch it. Let's go the opposite direction. You do this program. You do some sort of program. I don't care where you go. You do something for yourself. You have way more energy. The kids are having a hard time keeping up with you now. That you are doing so well at work. You have so much energy. You're showing up early. You're staying late. You're getting so much done at work. You get home, you don't have to take that nap anymore before you cook supper, right? How the clothes you're wearing now no longer fit because they're loose.
Right.
How's that going to affect you as a person? And then I asked them at the end, who do you want to be? Because ultimately,
and it should be very obvious.
You choose. Who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's awesome. That's so motivating. Hey, Daryl, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's if we were there, I think we'd already have signed up if we were sitting in the same place as you.
Poor Daryl just staring at his beer.
I know. It's mostly water, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's hops in there. There's
that's some vegetable.
So yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, Terry, because I didn't know a lot about Fit Theorem, and now I feel like totally educated about it. Now, if any of the listeners wanted to come down and check it out, would they say that, hey, can we tell them that, Terry sent you, or what would they do? Would they just come in, and is there like as you've kind of alluded to it, maybe a bit of an orientation, or just kind of discovering if this is really the right program for you?
We have tons of ads out on Instagram and Facebook. But we also have a page on Facebook and Instagram too. You can reach out there. But I'll let you guys know on a cool tip. The 6-week challenge, you can actually get it for free.
Oh,
wow. That's more than a tip.
Yes.
You are willing to actually commit to the full 6 weeks and do it properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you find people are able to step up to that challenge?
Well, we do a phone interview first and then an in-person interview. We've actually turned away a lot of people who we don't think is serious and just, I want to do it because it's free and I have nothing else better to do. Doesn't sound like you're willing to work hard to get it done. Right.
Yeah, and to make a change as opposed
to just... actually, we have to keep digging. We won't give up on them. We'll keep digging for about 30 minutes to see if they'll actually admit why they want to do it. But if they can't admit why they want to do it, then we can't help them.
Right.
Wow.
Well, and that's a different approach, right? Because I would think like other places and other gyms, all they want to do is they want to just sell a membership and get a person in. And if you don't show up, that just means they can sell more memberships. And that doesn't seem like the approach that you guys are taking at all. Like you're really wanting someone to invest in themselves and to take on that challenge.
We only want the best of the best, aka the people who are ready to do something about it. Not the people who are like, one day I'll do it. One day I'll do it, right? Because they're not mentally ready. That's where the mindset coaching comes in too, right? Like, are you actually ready to start putting time aside to do 3 45-minute classes a week? Oh, I don't have time. You have 172 hours in a week? What is it? 24 times 7, whatever that is. You're telling me you don't have 3 45 minutes. Okay, can't continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's fair. Like, can I look at your social media time that you've spent on your phone in the last week? And then I think we might be able to find those 3 45-minute chunks for you.
Right. Yeah. Or people that just say like gym memberships are too expensive. You're spending $8 on a Starbucks every single day.
Yeah.
8 times 30. That's $240.
You're there. Yeah.
Right. That's more than a gym membership per month.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's making a good case, Jeremy.
She is, yeah. So everybody who's listening, definitely check out Fit Theorem and talk to Terry about it if you see her. That's what, she's got a number of different things going on, and one of them is Coach Terry, and it's awesome to follow.
They call me Coach Military in class because I yell at them.
That is great. I would say I could see that on a jersey.
We do have a 3rd location opening up next year in St. Albert.
Oh, you're just taking away any excuse for me, Terry, because that'll be in my backyard.
I'll find you.
Yes, I know you will.
And you'll be running that location as well, so you'll have 3 locations that you'll be managing then?
Yeah, regional manager for all 3.
Awesome.
Regional manager, FPO, winning tournaments, traveling the Western provinces, everything. She's got it all going on, Daryl.
Doing my
Yeah.
best. The best thing about this brand is we all want all the employees to do good too. So we're actually building an army of future leaders.
Great.
We do a lot of mentoring. There's weekly meetings with people from the States, the top performers, top coaches, everything. They put in a lot of time to make sure that we get the proper resources that we're continuing to grow too. But tough love way, not just giving us the information. They actually ask us questions to make us dig the back of our brain and come up with the answers ourselves.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I think that is
Fantastic.
a good approach, right, Daryl? That's
Yeah.
don't just hand something to somebody, make them want to have it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think when you give something to somebody, they feel, okay, I've got this thing. But when you make somebody work for something and they figure it out themselves, it makes them feel way better.
It's called, when you do that, you're not helping them, you're hurting them because now
Yeah.
they're dependent on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing.
Are you inspired?
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
He's
absolutely.
speechless.
I am. Because what you say makes so much sense, and it's probably nothing new that people don't already know. You've got to put the work in. You don't get anything for free. You're not going to get fit by sitting on the couch. It makes sense that you've got to put the work in. You've got to put the time in. It's just whether people are, like you said, serious about it, and whether they actually want to make a change themselves.
Don't get me wrong, like any successful business out there or person, you're going to have haters. Right. So there's definitely a lot of keyboard warriors on those ads that we have being like, this is fake. You can't do this. Blah, 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 blah. Like, okay. So their reasoning is, oh, I talked to a dietitian and that meal plan is not sustainable. Let me ask you something. Lowering your sugars, eating enough calories, but still being in a deficit, and balloons, sleeping, drinking enough water, and moving to get some cardio. How is that bad for you?
Yeah. That's the key signs of everything, right?
Science.
Yeah.
Sugar. We've helped a lot of people who are diabetic. They're no longer diabetic.
Wow.
Right.
High blood pressure, no longer high blood pressure. Anemic, no longer anemic. Mental side of things too, we had a lot of people that are on depression medication, anxiety medication, no longer on the medication.
Yeah. Right. When you take care of your body, it will take care of you in a lot of different ways that you may not be expecting it to.
I just get really passionate and mad because people, keyboard warriors, right? Ha ha ha, this is fake. Why are you trying to tear me down and my team down when we're literally saving lives?
Yeah.
Go find a new hobby.
Well, it's like put down the keyboard, come in, and then tell me I'm wrong. Get through 6 weeks of this and actually commit to it. And then, go see military and then tell her to her face. So, you know what, though, Daryl?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do the 6-week program,
yeah,
you would, she said this wasn't the main thing, but, your body would be looking good and you'd be ready for the beach in the summer. And it might lead us to the next thing if you were kind of in beach mode and it was hot and it was summer-like.
Could be. And she said that she's opening up her third store. Yeah. So while we're talking about numbers, we are going to swiftly move on to the Desert Island Disc segment. So, Coach Military, let's say you were on this magical cruise. You were relaxing because you've got that beach bod. You're taking the cruise. You're loving the sun. But unfortunately, the ship goes down and you swim to shore. But luckily, you show up on a 18-hole disc golf course. And, of course, you had your 3 favorite discs with you. Thanks, Tristan, for ruining my intro now. Which 3 discs are you taking with you onto that course with?
Well, definitely my Yikun Yi putter. It's a 3300. Great for throwing as well. Very fluffy.
Yeah. Nice.
It's actually got quite a bit of stability for a 0-0 disc. It's got quite a bit of stability to it too. I think there's a video of me doing probably like a 40-50 foot putt from the knee at Wildman.
Of course.
Low hanging ceiling from the stupid evergreen. Smash that putt no problem on my knee.
In which type of plastic? I'm going to press you for plastics.
Tiger, because I like grip.
Tiger. Nice. Okay.
And then for a mid, Tiger Line Zhang.
Okay.
Okay.
I've posted a video about it. It's super tacoed, but it flip it really nicely. I can do smooth turnover with it nicely. It's just a nice disc. On hole 16, I've actually hit the cage with it.
Cool.
Straight up slight turnover, hit the cage.
Wow.
And then for my driver, I will probably have to go with the B. So, but I like the Dragon Line B.
Okay.
So it's a shinier plastic, a little
Specific.
bit more cold. Yeah. It's 9.5 -1.2.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I can actually throw it almost as far as my distance driver. So I don't know why I'm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's recap, and you'll have to help me out on the pronunciations again. So you got the Yi.
Yeah.
For your putter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what you had for the second one. Oh, that was the one I needed help with. Sorry.
Zhang.
Oh, the Zhang?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like a 9-tailed cat. So all the creatures on their discs, they're all mythical creatures, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Nice.
So it makes for some neat stamps as well then?
Yeah, lots of neat stuff. The last one's a bee. It looks like
and the bee. Perfect.
Awesome.
Now,
Okay.
just what you mentioned earlier about Gavin throwing all max weight discs. We had Kerry on last week. We were talking about weights. Do you have a preference over your weight discs?
I bought probably 50 discs that are under 160 grams. Yes, they're super fun to throw. Actually, I think 2 Tundra tosses ago, I'm going to say I won just because I had this Star 150-gram Mamba.
Okay.
Okay.
Super fun flippy disc. But honestly, realistically, if you're a touring pro, elevation is everything. When I brought all those lightweight discs to BC, everything flipped over. I could not get anything. So as a casual player that wants to throw far, yes, lightweight discs are great. But when you're in competition, I am moving back to max weight discs.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's good tips again.
Yeah. 50 discs later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So Teri, this is the part where we want to turn the floor over to you. And I know we talked about the sponsors and that, but if there's anything that you want to shout out or talk about that we didn't cover, this is your time. So go ahead and throw it out there.
Say thank you to all my followers and my supporters. No. Honestly, I don't think I could be where I am now without Mr. Todd Kennedy at JK Discs. He's been very nice and very supportive since day one. And, it's hit or miss when you talk to guys on a disc golf course. They can either be really nice or really creepy or both. I've never gotten that vibe from him. So thank you, Mr. Todd. He's a family guy, obviously. Right? Who else? BR Disc Golf. Obviously, there was a little bit of a falling out. If you guys followed me, I actually switched to OKDS, Okanagan Disc Golf Store. But since they're falling out and their collapse, BR was very nice and welcomed me back with open arms. Hands?
Awesome.
Arms.
Hands and arms.
Definitely not legs, but hands. My Saskatchewan family, there's a store in Saskatoon called Escape Sports Open. I don't think they have an online presence, so they have tons of gems in there. Just so you guys know, if you're ever in Saskatoon, Escape Sports Open.
Okay.
Very friendly.
Good to know.
Very encouraging. Again, they just told me, keep going, don't stop. We love what you're doing. Great for the sport, great ambassador. Those words carry out a long ways, especially when you're new to a sport, right?
Yes.
I guess I should probably thank Riley, my man. When I met him, I was a push putter.
Okay.
And he taught me how to spin putt too, as well as Lowell and Tyler Butts, because I almost took the light bulb out in his garage. It was just a light bulb. There was no cover. It was just light bulb. And I was like, phew. I was like, ooh, I think it touched the light bulb. So he actually took me aside. And he's the one that keeps reminding me, hey, if you want to get better, you actually have to go and do field work. You have to stop playing in these groups of 10 people, right? That if you play a 5-hour, 1-round game, yes, you have lots of fun, but you could have went and done field work for an hour and improved your game immensely that way.
Right.
Tim Plamondon, Mr. President. Very nice and welcoming. I don't remember when I first found out I was moving to Edmonton, I was very annoying, and I was messaging him nonstop on Instagram being like, I'm new to disc golf, but I'm addicted. How do I join your league? What do I do? I actually drove from Saskatoon to Edmonton right on time for Rundle League. So
Just to play?
and my entire life packed up in the Camry. I pulled up to the parking lot and I posted in the Edmonton disc golf scene, "Hey, I'm new. If anybody would like to play on my card, that'd be great. But if not, I'll just stand at TeeBox 1 until I have someone to play with." I don't remember the third person. I'm a horrible person. But there was Sean Heidebrecht. Oh, it was Gatsky. Yeah. It must be Gatsky. Sean Heidebrecht, Chad Gamlin, and Gatsky all volunteered to be on my card for the first time.
Fantastic.
They welcomed me into the Edmonton disc golf community, which was, again, very powerful because those are really strong players and they do a lot for the community too, right? Yeah, Wally, of course, we have to throw Wally in there. Always stuff. I'm probably missing a lot of people, but
that's okay.
No, that's awesome, Teri. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck this weekend in Tundra Toss, and we are going to be hopefully in a lot of the tournaments or in some of the tournaments that you're in. So we'll be cheering you on. We'll be supporting you as we can, and we hope you tear it up this year.
Thank you. Hey, that was my nickname in slow pitch. Teri, tear it up. Oh, also fun fact: I play all the sports.
All of the sports?
I really like volleyball. I was on a basketball team. I actually was quarterback for a lingerie football team.
Wow.
Badminton, track, slow pitch, you name it, all of it. I found a slow pitch team in Edmonton. So, yeah. So I'll be
so pretty much if there's sports going on, we're going to probably find you there.
Yeah. I'm the crazy one running around.
In between all the practice rounds and all the field work and all the managing and the tournaments and everything else. Yeah. Why wouldn't you have time to actually go and play slow pitch as well?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Do you ever sleep?
I do. I sleep 6 to 8 hours a night, and I watch a lot of K-dramas too, guys. It's really fun. K-dramas.
There you go.
I just watch until I can't keep my eyes open anymore, and then.
That's great.
Awesome. Perfect.
Well, this was fun. Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
It was definitely a lot of fun from this side of the camera as well. Thank you for coming, and thank you for, toning it down a little bit.
Daryl, don't waste that beer. You still have to pay no waste.
Thank you.
Yeah, he will not waste it. Do not worry.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Holy Jeremy, I'm like so pumped up. Like, I don't know what I want to do now. I want to go down and lift some weights or something. I need to take a breather because I feel like my heart is going to pump out of my chest.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's like we plan these interviews and we get an outline and we get some questions and we think we know where it's going to go and where we want it to go. And we did want to talk about Coach Teri. That was what we called that section. But just the energy, it was like starting at the start of the interview and just kept ramping up. And I'm like you said, I'm just jazzed. I'm ready to go out and go do something.
Yeah, no, such a positive person, right? No, I'm surprised that she even addressed like the haters on the Facebook post or whatever, because it seems like she's made of like stone and the hater comments just bounce right off her. Like, I don't think anything you could do to bring her down.
Yes. And it's, we've talked about it is we'll be out on the course and she's got so much energy that we're not playing with her, but you'll hear her on the hole next to you and immediately a smile comes to my face. If Teri's around, I'm smiling. I think my face actually hurts a little bit from all the smiling I was doing in the interview.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so like, if there was any doubt in your mind or if you were having a bad day, like if by the time you finish listening to this podcast, like you should be geared up and ready to go. You should be ready to take on the whole world after those motivational speeches she was giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Daryl? Now that you say that, maybe that's what I'll do is I'll just have episode 15 ready and loaded, good to go. If I'm having trouble getting out of bed in the morning, I'll just punch it to whatever section I want in the episode and Teri can get me out of bed and get me moving.
It should be mandatory for everybody to listen to the Coach Teri section before they start a round of disc golf.
Yes, exactly.
Like, get you in that right frame of mind. But finally, I should have said this to Teri. So Teri, if you do watch this back and you're listening, thank you, because one of my other, like the first disc golf social media that I started was my Deejaydiscgolf Instagram channel. Yes. And Teri was actually the first person to actually follow me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was like, who is Heiserbomb Hong? I don't know. They're following me, so I'll follow them back. And then that's when I was introduced to Teri. So yeah, no, I mean,
That's
we knew what we were getting when we asked her for an interview anyway, and she brought exactly and
and
100%
more.
more,
Yeah.
of what we were expecting anyway. So, yeah, a great guest.
Yeah, thanks to her. Just another great interview, and we say it every week, like you said, and we will keep saying it because the people in our disc golf community in Canada, in Alberta, all around, they're just great people, and I'm glad that we can share their stories and share conversations with them with our listeners. I think it just helps to grow the sport, and I hope everybody's enjoying it as much as we are, because we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, we're only on episode 15.
That's right. Yeah.
Early days.
Well, should we roll along and kind of wrap up this episode a little bit with a few things?
Yeah, let's hurry up and get this episode finished because I want to go pump some iron.
You know what? We could take a quick break if you want to go grab some dumbbells, and you could just kind of do some bicep curls as we finish the episode if you like.
Is it bad for me to say that the only bicep curls I'm going to be doing?
Go for it. All right, let's move to Winter League. Given a Winter League update here, this last week was our last. We're kind of coming to the end of Winter League in Edmonton, and we had our final round at Rundle this past week.
Right.
And we mentioned at the start of the episode that you came out, and we had a couple other people who joined the league for this round. And the person with the best round, I don't know, did you already know, or you want to guess? Yeah, you go ahead and guess.
Well, I mean, I do know because I peeked, but it was only ever going to be one of two people.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Yeah, I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So, yeah, I know who it was. Do you want to say who it was?
It was, of course, Dylan Froelich coming in with a -8 at Rundle. Yeah. So now, the week before, he did a -8 at Hermitage. And then for his last round at Rundle, he put down a -8. And I think Tim put it best when he put out the post on the Edmonton Disc Golf Association page.
Yeah.
And he said, Dylan needs to be stopped. So
yeah, who's up for the challenge? I don't think anyone's going to catch him apart from Uncle Steve.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you know what? Our last 2 weeks, though, because we missed a week when it was really cold there. So we have 2 weeks in a row at Hermitage now, and that's how we're going to wrap up the league. So I know I caught lightning in a bottle, but come on, Daryl. There's always a chance, right? There's always a chance. With all this extra positive energy I've got from Teri, maybe I'm going to take that into Saturday and just knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Like I say, have this on repeat. Listen to it before you go out there on the course, and -10 is within your grasp, Jeremy. What's the record? What's the record at Hermitage?
Right now for the league, it's the -8. Now me, Dylan, and Steve all have that same -8.
Right. So I'm expecting a -9 at least.
Well, and I've got that one advantage of this Teri energy that we're talking about. Yeah. Because this episode won't be out until after the round. So maybe I'll be able to channel it, because Dylan listens to the show. I know that. So he'll have it for the last week, but he's not going to have it for this weekend.
Yeah, you got your advantage.
Yeah, so that's good. And then also, too, what do we got going on? We did putting league this week. I did make it out. It seems like our numbers were down just a little bit there. We had that change in dates the week before, and we were recording, so I missed out on that one. That was just after Valentine's Day. But last night, we did still have a fair amount of people show up. My night wasn't that great, but you know who did have a great night? Take a guess. Well, Wally always has a good time, and he's always good to be out there. I think he might have had a good night. But Tristan Piska, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, yeah. He went out, and I think it was on his first round. He put in all 5 putts from 35 feet.
Wow.
And then I found out, because we do the 5 putts at 5 different baskets for a total of 25 putts, and you do that 3 times. So he ended up with 23 of 25 putts.
All from 35 feet?
No, just like from all of the 5 different baskets. You put it all in that distances. One round. Yeah, 23 out of 25. Then he goes into the next round.
Yeah.
and he puts 25 of 25 in the basket. 25
Oh,
15 feet, 5 15 feet, 5 20 feet, 5 25, 5 30, 5 35. It was
wow.
insane. And I was like, just the pressure of trying to put in that last 35 footer, and he did
Yeah.
it.
Wow, that's awesome. That's got to be a record, hasn't it?
I think so. Well, we just
Has
we had
anybody
put
hit? Yeah, 25 out of 25.
I don't think so, because we just put up the latest results that BR put out of the Alberta putting leagues, all of them combined together. And I didn't see a 25 on there anywhere, but I'd have to look at it again. But I think Tristan's the first one to do it.
Right. Wow, that's awesome. Good job, Kristen. Must have been the exposure on the podcast. We must have rubbed off on him somewhere.
We're gonna make up credit. We're not just taking credit; we're making up credit. Yeah.
Did anybody take the ace putt or the ace putt?
Oh, the frozen ace.
Frozen ace.
So Quinn it was funny. Quinn hadn't bought any tickets for the 50-50 or the frozen ace.
Right.
And then at the last minute, they were doing the last call, and he's like, okay, can I transfer you some money? I'd like to buy some tickets. Okay, I'll buy a few of these, a few of those, that type of thing. Then we do the draw. You know, Brock does a big mix up of the bag and everything. And then sure enough, Quinn's ticket comes out of the bag.
Wow.
So he put a nice putt. He did a good bit at it, but I'm telling you, once you put that champ cap on, and I think we can flash back to like episode 2 or episode 3 when Jeremy said, you want to make putting harder? Just put a champ cap on there. And you're like, I don't know, Jeremy. Well, I'll tell you, you put a champ cap on there, that's going to make putting harder for the pros, because it certainly does for us. So
yeah.
But no, it was a good putting.
But he didn't make it.
No, he didn't make it. He got $5. And then I guess what they were talking about doing was, on our last night, we're going to do 3 different tries. So if the first person doesn't get it, they're going to do another draw, but it's going to go down to like 75% of the payout. Okay. Then it's going to go down to 50% of the payout. And then if that third person doesn't get it in, then they're going to split it, and they're going to go 50% to Edga and 50% to a charity. So nice. Everyone thought that was a great way to kind of finish off the frozen ace.
Yeah, absolutely. That works.
Yep. So that happened. And of course, Teri was there. So she had set up a game for us. It was pretty much, I was going to say it was very straightforward, but it didn't make it easier.
Elevated basket.
No.
One of these weeks, she's going to do the elevated basket. Teri, if you're watching this, how many weeks have you got left of... well, don't take any advice from me. I think you know what you're going to do anyway, so it doesn't matter what I say. But okay, so very straightforward. It was a straightforward putt.
It was a straightforward putt from 30 feet, any way you wanted to putt. So I went at it. It was the only thing that was maybe a little bit more difficult about it was, I don't know if you've seen those practice baskets where they fold up and they've got more of a fabric bottom and a top to them.
Yeah, Latitude 64 have a basket like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that type of basket. So for me, it felt like the chains are a little bit of a smaller target than in a normal basket.
Yeah.
But I still managed to put in, I think out of my 25, I put in 9. I think is what I got in. So that was not nothing to write home about, right?
No, not considering we just spent a couple of minutes arguing whether you put in 17 out of 18 or 20 out of 23
23 out of 25.
23 out of... I was getting there.
You can put that on the bottom of the
I'll flatten up in big numbers. 23 out of 25. With, you get 23 out of 25 underneath a curtain rail in a tunnel, so forcing you to spin putt. But yet when you're given any putt you want to try in an open area, you get 9.
Yeah.
No, why am I saying it like that? That sounds negative. Sorry, Jeremy.
Well, you know what? The only reason that makes sense, though, too, Daryl, is because I think Tim did turbo putts. He probably got 9 doing turbo putts. And Wally did scoobers, and I'm sure he got close to 9 that way. So you're right. If I'm going to be doing anything in any tournaments, I got to be doing better than 9 out of 25 from 30, I think. So.
Well, 30 feet. I mean, it just goes to show you how good you were at under the, using those spin putts. If you can get 23 out of 25, where, it's not easy from 35 feet, right? So yeah. Good job on your 9.
5 foot difference. Well, thanks for changing it around and turning it there.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to some Canadian Pro information that I was wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And I wanted to say that, first of all, we talked about Miss Frisbee's a little earlier today. And I was excited to see, because anybody who has been following Chantel, she's had a few things happen in her life lately. Her dad passed away, and then she had a dog that passed away not long after that. So it's been a little bit of a rough go for her there. But she's kind of working through those things, and she's getting ready for the tour, and she was putting out some new content, so it was good to see. She did a practice round. She showed off the new towel, the one I've got there. And it looks like where she's heading down to is her first tournament's going to be down in Waco. That's her first DGPT tournament.
Yeah, no, that was a good video. I watched both of the videos. Her in the back video, I think that was on the Prodigy channel, and her, like you said, that practice round that she's getting back into filming a bit more now. Whether she'll do any of that when she's down there on the tour, but good to see that she's put stuff up there and that she's doing okay again now, and that she's got some great sponsors behind her as well. So, she's still young, so hopefully she'll just go, she'll get better, and maybe she'll have another good finish this year.
Exactly. Well, and as I was saying there, she's heading down to Waco for her first tournament. I had also noticed that Max Rajitnik, that's going to be his first tournament of the season as well. First Pro Tour tournament.
Right.
So another one to watch as we get to that point.
Yeah.
Also, looking at Thomas Gilbert and what he's got going on. And by the time you've heard this one, he will have just played in the first actual DGPT tournament of the year, which will be the chess.com Open down in Florida at Paul Macbeth's course.
And Dylan Cease. Yeah,
and Dylan Cease's as well. And Thomas has been down there for a bit watching his content, because he was watching the All-Stars. He's been practicing the course. It looks like he's been lighting up the course in his practice rounds. So hopefully it translated to the first tournament as well.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught the post that he was putting out there, but I think he had a really cool idea when he was down at the All-Star. He wore these bright white trousers and was walking around getting all the pros to Sharpie and sign the trousers. So he's got a pair of trousers with all these different pros' signatures on it. I thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah, that is neat for sure. Awesome. No, and I think even just today he had one, and I made a comment on it, but he was like, 458, what are you throwing? And I'm like, throwing
shots
up? Does that count? So anyways, that's just my sense of humor.
Yeah.
So the other person I wanted to kind of mention as well was friend of the show, Joe Henderson.
Is it anybody that's been on our show is a friend of the show?
Yes, that's how you earn friend of the show status.
Okay.
Come on the show, you're a friend of the show. You're a listener of the show, you're a supporter of the show, you're a friend of the show. There's different I've got all these categories in my head, Daryl.
That's fine. Yeah. Put them on a spreadsheet. Let me know where do I fit?
Yeah.
Co-host of the show?
Depends on the night. I've actually got you dotted line to a lot of different ones.
Right.
Yeah, so Jo is she's heading down to Memorial in Phoenix, and she did a little post where it was kind of a live one where she was packing her bag and just giving us an idea of what is she taking as an FPO pro to Memorial. Like, she's going to be traveling and she's going to be flying, or however she's getting down there. You've got to make sure once you get there, you can go to a disc golf store, but if you forgot your favorite perfectly beat-in disc, or you now made the wrong choice and you wish you had it, that's going to be a problem. So she kind of went through her bag and showed what she packs for hers, and I got a few different tips out of that I wasn't necessarily thinking about before. So
nice. Awesome. Yeah, I know she also announced, or she kind of reiterated, but I know I was watching Grip Locked, their YouTube channel. Hunter was doing a live stream, and he mentioned about that they're going through a sort of a transition phase where Grip Locked is separating from Foundation, and that when the season starts again, they're going to have like a preview and a review show of the different events. And they kind of announced it on there, and I don't think Jo really posted too much about it, but she's going to be joining Foundation as their FPO correspondent. So that's going to be a big deal for her. That's going to be awesome to see as well.
Yes, and she's actually got one of the first videos out as well. So I just
Okay.
had watched it, and she was talking a little bit, saying that the European FPOs have come over, everyone but Kristen, and so
Yeah.
it kind of, that's another sign. We talk about all the signs of the season starting and
Yeah.
what off season it is, but when the Europeans end up landing in North America, yeah, disc golf is starting.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. You know what we did not that long ago in an episode is we put out a secret word.
We did. And
And
I think we had some good feedback. We had some good engagement.
we had some fun too. I enjoyed the back and forth, kind of like this secret word and how could we use it and how could we reference it.
Yeah. I think we should do it again, Jeremy. So
Yeah.
if you've listened this far into the episode, hopefully you're still pumped. Why wouldn't you carry on listening? It's not like you're going to listen to Teri and then turn off. You're going to keep watching.
Yes, you're gonna have so much energy. You're just, even if you wanted to stop, you just won't have the energy to. So you have too much energy to stop.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a word that we can use. We've got a couple of subjects we talked about today. We could maybe use a word right from the beginning of the episode. So we could say something around the prizes, some giveaway or something like that.
Yeah,
we could sneak another word in there. Maybe we could use military. That would be a good word to try and sneak in.
Oh, I like I was thinking harp was what I was thinking.
Harp could be another word.
But I don't mind military. I think that's going to be a good one. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay, let's go military.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
use it any way you want to use it. But because that one there too is you can have fun with it because it can be about Teri. It can be about a lot of different things, right? So
yeah, exactly. And for people that don't know, Teri, her first name is spelled Teri. Yes. So you can maybe incorporate that into the military as well if you wanted to. You want to show that you really know if you listen this far into the episode. So
drop us a comment. Use the word. Are we gonna do anything with that, Daryl?
If you do drop a comment with the word military, not only will we know that you've been listening this far into the episode, whatever, you get an entry, you all get entries. So if you do drop a comment with the word military, we'll add your name to the prize draw as well. And why not? While you're already listening, if you're taking the time to write in a comment, you should already just click on that subscribe button anyway. So you'll definitely get entered anyway. So help us reach 100. Drop the word military in a sentence. Don't just put the word military because we don't want anyone else to. I'm sure people reading those other comments were like, why is everybody talking about Monopoly? There must be some reason why they're saying it, right? But drop the word military. You'll get an entry. We'll get to 100. Everyone will have a good time.
Yes, they will. And when we get to 100, someone's going to win that prize pack that we put out there. They're going to have that harp, Daryl.
Yeah.
And they're going to take that harp.
It's hard not to do it now, isn't it?
It is. It's hard not to laugh. We just love this.
We just know it's coming.
I think everyone else can join us.
Let us know in the comments. We keep talking about this off air, but we have our deep dark announcer voice. We have I agree with you, but you're wrong, or you make a valid point, but you're wrong. We have the desert island disc. We have these things that we're known for. Two of the things that we're known for, I guess one of the things that we're known for at the end, if you watch this late into the episode, is our outro. Let us know if you like it, or if you hate it, or if you think it should never go away. Let us know in the comments below as well. Try and work that in. Yeah, bonus entry if you can work. If you can work in military and why we should keep the outro into the end of the episode. But Jeremy, as you were saying,
yes, and the other thing is we'll take all your comments into consideration, but we're having fun, so we'll keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, we're not going to say if you don't like it, we're going to take it out.
Yeah,
we just want to know how you feel about it.
So you're going to have this harp. You're going to have this BR Mini. You're going to be rocking this bindle bag.
Wait a sec. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say we did it last week, but we don't. Last week we had a warship.
We did.
So
you're going to be rocking this stuff. If you're sporting all this BR gear, there's only one place to go play, and that's going right back down to Camrose.
Exactly.
Checking out that course that Brendan's designed.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand up on a hole, and you're going to have so much good mojo with you standing on that tee pad. You're going
to have all of Teri's energy.
And yeah, you're going to have all of Teri's energy as well. So you're going to rip that disc. And there's only one thing that harp's going to do. It's going to sail through the air, probably make it clear over one of those water carries that Brendan was telling us about.
Yeah.
It's going to go down towards that basket.
Yeah.
It's going to be honing in, maybe on a slight hyzer, just cruising
Sailing
towards the basket. It's going to hit those chains. It's going to crash right in there. And the one thing, Daryl, it's not going to do.
Nope. I don't
never
believe it.
Do it.
It could never. Chain out! Okay, what an episode. Thanks, everybody.
See you next week.